Testing, testing. Okay, good. Nice. Probably. Okay. All right. I guess I'll go over to. All right. Say something again. Hmm. All right. Let me go to browser. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hmm. I'm just setting up. Yes. Um. All right. That is weird. Uh. Someone. Someone do me a. Can someone do me a favor? Go in the stream and check if you can hear yourselves, because I am looking at my settings and testing. No, that's the problem, because usually the desktop audio picks up Discord, but it's yeah, I don't know the problem. It's uh, oh, that's the problem. Like, there's no way around it aside from you have. Okay. Oh, right. 1 second. Let me fix this. Try this again. All right, so here's the pro. All right, so here's the problem. The problem is it won't let me log in on my browser. So I am going to like no, I know it won't. It says like I put in my. So here's my problem, right? I put in Okay, what? You detected something. What the fuck? Okay. Okay, let me just make sure no one can see this. Chris isn't here yet, so it's fine. No, we don't want to have to cancel. No, it's. I don't think it was, unfortunately. It's not even. It's like. Phone Discord. What? Your phone number was recently removed from this account and added to a different Discord account? That was the problem. I think it's because I made the Wario Man ult. Am I going to? I'm not. Wario Man 26 is not in this Discord. Yeah. All right. I'll become Wario Man 26 for this. Okay. Are you fucking? All right. Let's see if this works.
If you want any pizza, make sure you get some before 9:30.
Yeah.
Put the pizza inside the fridge at that point.
I heard you. Yeah. What the fuck? Oh. Okay.
What are we watching, people? I think Jason.
I sent you the link.
So this course.
I think Jason has. I don't know. All for chicken horse. Really? Harrison and Neil. Yep. a single room again. Overwatch, drunk Overwatch, Jesus Christ, Ari.
I need
Hey,
Pearl,
no,
though.
hey, no. You can describe them as hard.
Hard
Yeah.
time, hard diamond and soft pearl.
To be fair, Nakreen, the thing pearls are made of, is typically described as soft.
Probably the
Yeah. Cruel, crazy diamond and Pearl Jam.
No.
Okay, I figured it out, I think.
Shut up, Mason.
1 second. I just need to make this actually display again. And then share screen. That was really weird.
So it's
guys know
working even on your main now?
It's really boring.
Yeah, no. I'm going on browser.
Oh, it's working. Yeah, we can be heard. We can be heard.
Yeah. Wigushi?
Seems
I just need to give me a second. I need to pull up my
Chris, you should say it again just so we know. That you didn't.
Oh no, you sent it to
Oh
my
man, I
main.
can't believe I didn't wipe just to be here in time, and it hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just checking your
Okay.
stream right now. We can be heard. We can be heard. We don't need to do your alt anymore. Just keep this. Just do screen share.
Screen share. Screen share. Oh my god, Tom, we're going to
Screen share.
presenter mode.
I know I'm
Yo,
about to go
let's
into
go.
presenter mode, but first I need to.
No. So, you gotta do the secret tech of having 2 monitors, so you don't have.
Why?
I
Why is
don't
this 5
have
out of
2
6?
monitors though.
Why do you have so many notifications? Oh my lord.
I used to have
Brandon,
thousands
why
of
is this 5 out of 6?
notifications.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I used
Application,
to have
Chrome
thousands.
tab.
5 out of 6.
Oh,
you
because
guys
I
see
thought
it?
for a second that Tommy would have to put his alternate in. He would forget.
Oh,
to take
yeah. Make it 5 out of 5. So.
I'm fixing it now.
Wait, can you actually see it?
Didn't you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
we're
the
good.
6.
All right. I'm.
Presenter mode. Yeah.
We did it, boys.
You guys
Yeah.
ping all the normal.
The problem
ping
is
all the
I'm
normal
gonna
groups?
have to. Okay,
Yeah.
All good
I'm
to
sharing it,
go.
I'm
It's time to
sharing it.
Before
send
we
out-
begin, I have to go get some more
Send out the
pizza.
pings. You want me to ping Anime Club?
Oh, yeah, you can do
You guys
that.
advertise stuff. I'll be right back.
Wait, here, Vinay. Here's the image to use.
Yeah. Just send me everything. We doing it.
Got it.
You really do be sending it.
Yeah,
I
this has been-
sending it.
This has been a thing for ages. Surprised it just thought of
Hi,
it.
Vincent.
Hi,
Mason.
Vincent.
Vincent, about that thing with people saying, "Hey, this man predicts the future." Do you really
Yeah.
wish they didn't say that because your next prediction literally involves New York burning to the ground?
Tap in.
No, see that's different because I'm saying it's not really a prediction. It's me saying I'm going to burn New York to the ground.
It's a self-fulfilling
I
prophecy.
see, I
You're the
see.
person prophesying it, and you're the
Yeah,
one who's
yeah,
gonna do
exactly.
Can Twitch load? That would be
Alright.
nice. I would.
Actually, I need
burning
to
it.
advertise this on Twitter.
It's almost as if like
Yeah.
burning something to the
Alright.
ground is
Vinay,
like
you
a
can send out
really
your
common
send
metaphor.
out your
Yes,
stream.
yes. I know. I'm waiting for twitch.tv/dreadfighterfe to load so I can make sure the stream is up.
Please note it.
It
That's how I
is.
tested it.
Yeah, I know.
it. Guys, I'm in the back end of Tommy's sorry, I should say
Alright.
Tommy. I should say Dreadfighter Effie's Twitch account, and for some reason he's got a tier 3 sub to Pokimane.
What? Impossible.
Yeah.
Wow,
You should
Dreadfighter
you're like
has a
12.
tier 3 sub to Pokimane. Isn't
Tier
that
3 sub to
Who's
Pokemon?
Pokimane? Does he play League of Legends? How would you tier 3 sub to a League of Legends player?
No, clearly they play
Alright,
Pokemon.
watch
It's
your
in their
language.
name.
Yeah. It's spelled differently though. It's a weird
Mhm.
vibe.
I don't know any other like, e-girls who Twitch. Like I just know Pokimane.
Lily Pichu. Oh my god, what Tommy? Why are you tier 2 to Lily Pichu?
Wow,
No,
crazy.
you've got me. All right, I think it should be.
Fred Dieter F.
Mr. Fighter.
All right.
I only know Lily Pichu because of like that one ad where she explodes on Twitch, and then there's the I think she
Doesn't-
dates that guy who makes robots on YouTube, Michael
Does,
something.
doesn't Jeff have a tier 3 sub to Lily Pichu?
No,
Or
see
Dave
that.
Chappelle.
So that was a different thing, where he
I
won.
see.
He won one in a
Mhm.
Smash tournament
Impossible.
Mhm.
because instead of first place, he got his tier 3 sub to Lily Pichu.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I see. Classic.
Yeah.
that's hardcore. Mason, I've shown that. Sorry, Italians, but this is real life. The Irishman gets the girl chimp like a million times
So
today.
good.
I messaged that to a ton of people at work today.
That's so funny. Sorry, Italians.
I was actually kind of skeptical.
The Irish monkey.
All right, how long till people start
All
complaining
right.
about ping
Only
on
so many,
Discord? Oh, they've already
Just
started
me. I'm the only
complaining.
one. I'm the only one complaining right now
All right.
You're in the
Ping
ping.
people.
because I didn't have time to wipe, and now I'm here.
God.
It's got me red-handed.
Oh no! Wait.
One-handed, some might say.
Ah, that's terrible.
Hemorrhoids.
Stop.
God. You
Why?
See, aren't you guys glad you invited me on this? You could have had anybody else, but you decided to invite me.
Yes.
No, I wanted to invite. No, this is why we invited you.
Absolutely.
This is why we
Absolutely.
invited you.
So I can talk about things that are definitely not really actually impacting me in any way, like hemorrhoids.
We knew
At this
what we were
moment.
getting ourselves into.
Arian should.
We knew exactly what was gonna happen.
Have you considered sitting in a tub of hot water?
Those do be helping hemorrhoids, so I've
Yes.
heard.
Does it? Interesting.
God, this is not the hot hemorrhoids podcast. Please stop.
What if?
It,
Okay, so
it
what
is
if?
now.
So I know there's bidets that you can hook up to a toilet. Can I hook it up to just like a bucket full of salt water?
No, because the salt water isn't pressurized. If you can pressurize the salt water, I think that works.
So you're telling me in order to bidet blast salt water into my butt, I need to first get a bucket. I need to seal it in a vacuum seal. Insert the bidet. I can't imagine there's a really easy way to get over it. So you have to like kind of squat.
No. So
Okay.
I think what you're looking for is a health faucet. They use
Listen,
those in a lot
Tommy,
of bars.
Tommy, take the fucking wheel.
I think what we're looking for is
All
a
right.
transition.
I'm sorry.
to the
I'm
actual reason
I'm
we
setting
said
up my
that.
chat.
Ever since I started talking about hemorrhoids, the
Thank
chat's
me.
gone up by 10 users. So
All
you
right.
can thank me.
Thank you for the follow, Meat Supplies.
That's a good name. I like meat supplies.
All right, 1 second. I need to check something.
God, no.
I'm sorry, it's the last thing I
Just start
checked.
talking about it
No
again.
technical difficulties.
Start talking about things. Come on.
Anyways, if anyone is suffering from hemorrhoids,
Stop. You're a bad influence.
I'll take anal bum covers for 400, Trebek.
Okay, that's an
Okay,
actual.
all right, yeah, everything's working. Got it. Oh wait,
Good.
someone follow. Hello.
Yeah, Dreadfighter FB
Yeah.
subscribe. Wow,
You
that's
just-
crazy.
Did you just tier 3 to yourself?
What a
Did you just give yourself,
narcissist.
you just gave
Thank
yourself
you.
the Pokemon treatment?
wow,
Alright,
wow, incredible.
Wait, why can't I see my cursor?
Koenig.
You don't need it. It's in
You
presentation.
You don't need it. It's
Who's
a
Conan?
No, but it
Yeah.
Who's
says.
Koenig Excel?
Here's the problem. It says that
I don't know.
Discord is sharing.
No, we're
my
good. We're
screen.
moving. We're
This
moving.
is
We're
all
moving.
you need. Don't
No,
worry.
it says Discord is sharing.
Why are you yelling? Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
No, but here's the
Huh.
problem. It says Discord is sharing my screen, and then it's.
it is.
It is.
Yeah, but it's.
No.
No,
It's not.
We exist in the same
Stream-
apartment
stream-
park.
Stream is fine.
Stream's
Yeah,
fine.
don't worry.
Oh,
We're
so it's
totally
only
fine.
showing up on my screen.
No, it's
Why-
only capturing
no,
Chrome.
no.
It's only capturing Chrome. It's only capturing Chrome or
Yeah,
whatever
no,
browser you use.
Alright,
Literally,
fine.
both the
The
stream
way it
and the
works-
Discord
the way
stream
it works
share are
is-
fine. Stop worrying.
It captures the window you're telling it to capture, which is Chrome in this case. Yeah,
Alright.
but Discord captures your like screen.
No, I
Yeah.
know, I know. No. The problem is my cursor isn't showing up in the thing that there's something that's only. Okay, everything is fine now. Let's begin. Okay, please, Brendan, say the shit. This is. I have
Say the shit.
I have bamboozled enough.
Anyway, well, we're no stranger to technical difficulties when we're doing this, so that wasn't any particularly like new opening for us. But
Yeah.
hey, what's
Oh,
going
Hell
on?
no.
I
Only
sent out a
15
survey and I
minutes.
asked people, hey, do you have any tropes that you want us to talk about in anime? For you to let us know. So we sent out the survey, we got our results, curated them, added a few I wanted, changed some around, did what we needed to, and we'll be either roasting, criticizing, or praising the ones that are be coming up.
It's gotta be a
We've
little
done
bit
this enough
shorter.
times. Yeah, it's a slightly shorter one just by merit of how this process works and the fact that some hot takes inherently cover tropes.
Listen, we're not even going to be yelling about like Monogatari from 50 slides.
Oh, I'm yelling.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
we-
be yelling.
I
Me and Chris are gonna have a shouting match for like an hour.
Monogatari is definitely not immune to tropes.
No. I'm just saying. Like we won't be talking about Monogatari proper as much as we're talking about the shitty tropes that are in Monogatari.
Understandable.
All right, I
Mhm.
guess let's
The current
go.
Christian is we'll be yelling about the lack
Alright.
of
we should.
Just in D trope. Then I'm just go.
All right, let's go to introductions. Meet the call members, or meet the Jetsons, or whatever the fuck.
It's my
They're not
favorite
the
part.
Jetsons.
Hey, it's me. Okay, so I have seen 291 shows. I've kind of slowed down lately, but I've been watching some seasonals.
Oh, I'm glad you slowed down. 291. That's such a small number.
Yeah, small number.
Alright, so I've wasted 83.7 days watching anime.
I hate that so much. I hate
Um,
the days. I hate the days.
I have I main Waluigi in Mario Kart, the best character. Ideal superpower shifting mind reading because you become a master of espionage, and top 5 favorites: Gintama, Steins Gate, Attack on Titan, Hunter x Hunter Monogatari.
Mhm.
And now, the next person.
Look, it's me.
Damn
not-
it.
hey, look,
God
it's
damn
Don
it.
Patch.
God
What is
damn it.
that?
What's wrong with Don Patch? Why?
Everything's
why ever-
wrong with Don
why
Patch.
ever people be upset about me
I
having a
wonder.
Don Patch?
Is that from
video?
Bobobo?
Yeah, no, but
Yes.
here's the thing, Chris. He's a character in Rivals of Ether, and he's broken.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to hear this when you guys have been abusing 100% accurate Fox and OP guard chomp and nonsense like that. Don
Hey,
Patch
hey,
is
hey!
perfectly
No, I'm an
fine.
honorable Isaac Taiga main.
I
Don
really
Patch
want
will
to
cure
see.
the sick.
I'm gonna be
Patch
honest.
will
I want
feed
to
the
see
hungry.
Jelly Jiggler in Rivals, but no one knows who that is
I'm
but
sorry.
me.
Anyway,
anyways, Mr. Jeans.
name is Blizzard. Call me that if you want. As always, my days watched and shows watched are very skewed in their ratio. It's funny. Funky Kong on Flame Runner is the most blessed combination you will ever see in a video game, and I will have no slander of it. I would either like to have telekinesis or like extreme agility. Those would both be cool. And my top 5 are as shown.
All right, next person. This picture.
Where do you find these? Okay, so I think my shows watched is slightly more than 520, but
I'm just using the data from last time.
yeah, I've hit 537.
Ow! It's been like 3 weeks.
I have been using my time wisely and watching shorts.
He also asked me for a variety of recommendations, so I
Oh,
can
I see.
guarantee
Same
you that
age.
not everything he's watched has been high quality. Shout out to Run Dim.
Okay,
This is
so
a cool pick. Thank
I've
you.
watched. I've spent almost a third of a year watching anime. I hate myself.
Same.
My Mario Kart main is Villager because Villager is cool in Mario Kart 8 and has really nice, like, I don't want to say taunts, but like the little animation they do when they do a stunt.
Emotes and stuff like that.
Yeah. My ideal superpower would be like some psychic thing, probably like telepathy and telekinesis. I don't know. My top 5 has not changed from last time. So yeah,
Here's-
there it is. That's
That's my
me.
question. What typing is that Victini? Is it Fire Steel?
I
Um,
think
so,
Fire
no,
Steel.
Yeah, I would say Fire
Bikini's
Steel.
main type is Bikini's main
It's a
type is
ground
fire.
psychic.
No, it's fire psychic and steel rock. So it'd be fire steel.
Or Psychic Rock and just be bad.
All right,
True.
Lunatone moment. Lunatone moment.
all right. Gaming next.
Gaming. True.
Next. Hey, oh wait, that's a new picture.
Huh.
Yeah. That's my Guilty Gear main, Milia Rage, and maybe like my favorite video game character. Period. And it's not for reasons you'd think, you'd fucking degenerates.
It's got cool hair.
It
Yeah,
is
cool
an
hair.
That's
And then
it.
so
Says,
I watched
says the
100.
guy in an anime podcast. Says the guy in an anime podcast.
Hey. I'm a weeb, but fuck weebs.
Yeah, fuck weeds. They suck.
Shows watched. So it's 100, a modest 113. The days watched is concerns me quite a bit. Just because it's like almost it's a little over 1 to 2 or whatever. It's pretty close to 1 to 1. And then I like Yoshi. He's green and a dinosaur. And then favorite Pokemon? No, favorite Pokemon. It's his favorite Pokemon. It's his favorite Pokemon.
Brendan.
No, but so it's my
That's a
superpower
crazy
would be
favorite
enough
Pokemon.
strength to win every strongman contest without it being obvious, because then I'd just be like a billionaire.
Wow.
It'd be
filthy
awesome.
cheater.
It'd be awesome. And then 5 are the same from before.
All right.
That's a really long
Cool
long
power.
Pokemon name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Introducing the
Favorite
new Introducing
Oh,
the
is Vincent here?
guest. Yes.
Hi, Vincent.
Hi, Vincent. All right. Yes. Introduce yourself, Chris, aka Ludu.
Oh, it's not Vincent. I'm stupid.
What's up? It's your boy Chris. I'm the lewd dude with a bad tude. I be making money. Italian stallion stacked up with the Sicilian billion, rolling a gelato.
my
Where you at?
Did you practice that?
No, I
that's
wrote
off
it on
the
my
cuff.
notepad.
I see.
I wrote my notepad 5 minutes ago. I thought of the phrase Sicilian billion, and I'm like, that's amazing. I've never heard it used before.
Billion billionaire.
Okay,
Right.
but anyway, other than that, I'm Mario Kart main is Wario. I actually don't play Mario Kart, but when I did, I was probably playing. I just played like the lamest character possible. Not like lame as in good. I mean lamest is like physically stupidest looking. So Wario on a tiny bike's good. Generic shy guy is good. Whenever I play any kind of game, I always just gravitate to the worst looking character, who's usually not good, just because I'm weird like that. What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing at Vince. I'm laughing.
I see.
My
Yeah.
ideal
Doesn't
superpower
Vinny know
is
we're podcasting?
I'm a big fan of the Wario Man transformation. I'm a big fan of garlic, as you heard from my opening rap. The top 5 anime, ping pong animation, pretty generic. Mob Psycho is always
Play
fun.
Melee?
No, in fact, I despise when people bring up the connection.
Let's
It's like they
go.
don't. Everyone thinks they're Peiko or they're Smile or they're Kong Wenge, when really they're that guy who can't play and just like quits a million times.
They're the vagabond guy who. They're not even the vagabond guy. He got to travel. They're just in there. There's somewhere where they don't want to be.
Yeah.
Madoka Magica, pretty good. Could use some improvements, I think.
Have you guys actually had your subway car fail on you multiple times?
Oh my
That's the
god, we
fucking
can hear Vincent more
worst.
clearly than Tommy.
Yeah.
Like, can we tell Vincent to leave the room for like while we're podcasting? Like, come on.
Vincent, get out here! You're embarrassing me from my 12 fans.
All right. Yeah. I'm.
11 fans. Oh, so real quick, Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, really cool if you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Kill la Kill Sweet, but Agretsuko is one of those shows where I find out it's on, the new season's out, and I binge it all, and I smile like an idiot the entire time, regardless of how
Isn't
good
there-
or bad it is.
Isn't there a new season coming soon?
Season 3
Supposedly,
came
yeah.
out not too long ago, and I binged the whole thing
yeah.
immediately.
All right.
Oh,
But
Mark said
once
so.
season 4 is
Season 4 is coming soon, yeah?
Mark said there was.
once it comes
Yeah.
out, I'll have it watched by the first day it's out.
Oh
I
yeah.
see.
I don't have shows watched or days watched because I never logged anything, and not a big fan of just like personal analytics stuff, so I just don't bother with that.
Coming from people who do have that down, there is a bit of a, insecurity when it comes to seeing how your numbers add up over time.
Oh no, so I
Yeah.
just did it so I could play the stupid anime quiz game.
It's depressing though. I don't want to find out that I spent 79.8 days on anime.
No, see, that's what I did, but then I realized that was like legitimately over the course of my entire life because of all the Toonami shit I watched.
that's
The moment you start being able to add up how many months of your existence and what % of your life completely has been encapsulated by this, it's like, oh.
Listen, I've been reading One Piece for 10 years. I know what it is. You know?
It's a fucking trip.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. With that, that's
on
the
to
intros
the-
out of the way.
Yes. Unfortunately, we will not be reviewing Adam Sandler dating sim, but maybe one day.
That would
Next
be
time.
fun.
Next time. All right. The definition of a trope. Vincent, please be quieter. By definition, a trope is a common or overused concept within media. This can.
falls.
No, like Tommy, tell Vincent to shut the fuck up.
Vincent.
Oh shit, my chair broke.
Like actually, like this is like
Never
this,
falling
I
apart.
know we're in the same room. I can't move my entire PC setup. I don't want to kick you out, man.
you can ask him to not scream.
Just be
Balls.
Push
quiet.
to talk.
Just-
Push to talk.
Push
Push
to
to
talk.
Just push to talk. Please just
I
push to
can't
talk.
control when he talks.
No,
It don't
you.
matter. Just push to
I
talk
know.
anyway.
Push to
I
talk.
know, but he's
Push
talking
to
while I'm
talk.
talking. I know. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just say whatever you're trying to say in unison together.
All right.
Yeah, easy.
By
easy.
definition, a trope is a common or overused concept within media. This can refer to a specific character, plot devices, themes, ideas, so on and so forth.
Just to make sure we're all in agreement here of what this means and what we're going on. No confusions, no comments.
Mhm.
It's just basically just like a recurring object or concept that media tends to perpetuate for whatever reason.
Basically.
Oh, but actually, that's a leitmotif, not a trope.
All right. So,
Actually, it's a cliche.
actually,
Oh, yeah, true.
actually, Actually, yes, it's that. It's not that.
I mean, what nationality did you just become?
No, I became a bridge
He became
trick.
snooty.
No, I became a bridge
He's
trick. I
A
became
Greek guy trying to be an Italian guy, trying to be a Portuguese guy.
I was trying. I don't know. That voice was Tristan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, but somewhat butchered.
Anyways,
Tristan. Yeah, that actually really was Tristan. Oh my god.
I'm just a normal boy.
okay,
Okay.
okay,
Next.
okay, okay,
Oh,
okay,
boy.
okay.
Anyway.
Next.
Anyways,
It really is. All right. Getting this out of the way now. Tropes are inherently bad.
get the fuck out of here. Get the
No.
fuck out of here. Grow up.
Let's just solve this now. For anyone who says that a trope existing means a show is inherently bad or falling into a trope is a problem, it's
No.
like, you can only be so unique with a concept. You can only make a
That's-
character so creative.
You just watched Hunter x Hunter for the first time, and you're like, oh my god. There's not as many tropes as Naruto. Oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever made. Tropes are bad.
It's like
Grow
the
up.
concept of falling into a trope isn't in itself bad, and the concept of subverting a trope isn't inherently good.
I mean, honestly, like a show can be good, even if it has tropes in it. But you can also have a show which is bad that just doesn't have any tropes. Like I don't think it doesn't determine like if a show is good or bad. It depends on how it's executed.
Execution
The
is
execution
everything.
is the big part. The thing is, tropes are usually stigmatized because the execution tends to be bad, or it tends to be an indicative of laziness. Or
Like a trope in
being derivative.
Fairy Tale and One Piece have a lot of the same tropes. One
They
is
do.
one is like arguably the best manga written, and the other is trash fire. That is awful.
There is One Piece.
Yeah,
I-
I know. One Piece sucks, right?
Yeah. There was One Piece.
I think I've heard people like there are some people I've talked to who have like watched all of Fairy Tale. They told me don't watch it, but they've watched all of it, and I'm like, man, I feel bad.
Man,
Yes, I've watched all of it.
I read
it's-
all of it. Haha.
I know. I watched all of the first season, and then I read from after that. Yeah, it's bad. Don't watch it.
The Laxus lightning drop is also like the coolest thing.
Yes,
ever.
no, it has some cool moments. Most of it just kind of sucks, and I read it only because of sunk cost fallacy. I can't.
Yeah, I
speak.
was in too deep.
All right,
Mhm.
so
all right, let me
Simon.
in on this one
yes,
real quick.
Oh yes,
Speak.
yes.
I'm not gonna be the person who says this is a bad take. I'm not gonna be the person who says if this is what you think, or if shows have tropes, that's just like a wrong way of thinking. The cool thing with tropes, and also the bad thing, is you can use them immediately to smell out what's good and what's bad, like at an instant. Where Mason, you'll know this more because you did a lot of writing in English in college, where you find people who try to write a story and like you can tell they're an amateur because they have like this cutout that's a trope, and they kind of stick to it because you don't really want to include information that's not relevant to the rest of the story. So like at the very beginning, it's a nice cutout if you don't know what you're doing, but then you have to subvert it in some way, like Madoka subverts it. But even then, you have characters who are like in Jujutsu Kaisen, Megumi, who's like the super boring character, and he hasn't really shown us anything cool in the anime just yet. Well, he has, but like his design and trope is like the boring, normal like anime protagonist.
Yeah.
That's like, I think that's a really nice way to do it when everything else is subverted. So you have this one trope that really sticks out when you compare it to a bunch of characters who are outrageous and not what you'd expect.
Yeah,
based
like
off their initial
he's
tropes.
just super chill, and everyone else isn't, and so it works.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's
his
exactly what it is.
boringness works with his design. Like it makes the trope work really well.
Yeah.
Whereas if all of the characters were just their generic trope, like if you've ever seen the irregular Magic High School, fucking miserable, cool premise, but really bad with tropes.
I've heard
But-
the magic system in that is actually like pretty decent. It's just
It's
that
awesome.
that the characters.
It's the coolest premise. Like it's such a cool premise, and I if I could rewrite it, I could make it way better. I think. I'll have that discussion another time. So definitely, tropes are like super important. Inherently bad is, I think, at the base level, yes. But anywhere from there, like a good writer knows what they're doing with the tropes, whether they're following them for a purpose, with poo-poo-tsu crapsin, or
more
Or
like
if,
Fujitsu craps. He literally just typed that as you said it.
yeah. So definitely starting point, and then from there, it's like the writer has to determine if the story's gonna be good or bad. But you need that trope to get started.
I
Yeah.
think the other thing is, just when you're writing, right? Like in general, it's really hard to not do tropes just because, like, humanity, right, has been telling stories for how long now? Like
There's
absurdly
7.
long.
There's legitimately 7 stories to tell. And-
no, like I've like you can like talk about like how there's only like some base forms of stories, but I mean like specifying more. I forgot what the opposite of abstracting was for a second. Even if you like specify more into like the actual like nitty gritty of the story, there's just been so many like stories told over so much time that it's just impossible to not have tropes.
It turns
Like-
out the Epic of Gilgamesh and One Piece might have some similarities.
What?
Hmm.
No, but it's
No,
like
no, I'm just saying, like at a very base level, like at a
Yeah,
super
yeah.
base level, it's just like there's only so many stories that
that you
they're-
can possibly tell. Yes.
Choo-choo
Yeah.
supers.
So- Like right off the bat, if you think that tropes inherently make a story bad, I think the easiest way to explain it is just try making a story without tropes.
yeah,
You
I
can't.
feel.
and you can't.
I'll try making a story in the first place.
I
Like,
mean-
that's
Yeah.
so fucking
Your
hard.
characters are probably just going to start falling apart or not making sense.
No. See, first of all, having a protagonist, that's a trope. So it's like,
I mean,
good
just
luck.
I mean, just because you have a show that has like an edgy anti-hero who is not normal, it's
That's
not gonna
also
be...
a trope.
Yes, that is also a
It's
trope.
fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have everything. Everything is a trope.
right.
some things
like
have been used
like
enough.
literally everything is at
Yeah.
in this point in human history, with the amount of literature we've accrued.
There's an entire
God
episode
knows-
of South Park about how the Simpsons have done literally everything.
Yeah.
That's only the
exactly.
past 20, 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's we eventually like you tell like there you'll run into a lot of the same stories. It's just all in execution and how you differentiate that way.
Yeah.
And that's the where the writing skill comes in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's definitely a
So-
starting point, and like it's up to the writer or an interpreter to like figure it out from there. Because this take could be completely true if the writer's bad.
Yeah.
It could definitely lead people down this path.
The issue isn't the trope; it's how you execute upon it. And I
Yep,
think
yep,
we've
yep.
gotten this out of the way, so we can move on.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Let's move on to the next take. We have character.
Oh
wait,
boy.
well, ignore that. Move on.
Ignore that.
I was like,
Yeah,
what
but-
is this?
Hmm,
I
it is a
understand. I
character.
understand what he means. Yeah,
The fuck is a tractor?
All right.
Hmm.
the protagonist.
Now,
Okay,
now
protagonist.
I was laughing really hard because I'm like, character.
What the
Oh,
hell
God.
do all of these? What do all of these have in common?
No, spoilers.
Why is Darling and the Franks always involved in this show?
All
Because
right.
it's the
basically-
worst thing made by humans.
All right.
That-
Witch Academia, Darling in the Franxx. Okay, I'm probably gonna dip for One Piece, but
That's
be
fine.
and nor
Well,
Flip Floppers.
I'd say of all them, One Piece is probably the most tame of the spoiled ones. But these are like, if you like really care about any of these, like you probably should leave. We'll warn you when a take comes up that will actually.
No,
affect you.
no. They said they love Franks. So good.
Oh no, yeah, bad. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna take the opposite side. I've never watched it, but it's got anime girls, so I'm down. I love
Yeah,
Franks.
no,
So-
no. See,
And
normally
robots.
normally I'm like girls.
No.
good.
See,
like-
Chris, they're underage, so no.
Yes.
It's
they're un-
anime. Every girl is 14.
No. That is not a good take. No.
Chris, if you ever watch
that.
God, I need
Keep it rolling.
Excuse me.
Keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling.
I need to not die because I feel like I end up dying when Chris is whenever. Oh my fucking god!
Nakama power, aka getting a boost after making a monologue about the power of friendship or something.
What are these
Yo,
locks? I need to figure out what these locks are first before anything.
Yeah.
Those are
yeah.
just specific examples that we'll go over one at a time once we get a basic
Okay.
combo.
Nakama,
So
Okay.
as the resident shonen expert here, Nakama power is a very common. Like there's ways to do it. There's
In
actual.
literally
It's in literally everything that has like a shonen hero or like you want to like fight for your friends, right? But there's a big fundamental difference in it, right? If the boost is mental, like in terms of internal, I'm not giving up unless I die, right? For your pals, that's a very different vibe than say, legitimately actually getting a power boost because you don't want your friends to die that much, or you love
Get a
your friends that much.
So
Yeah.
for me, I've seen a lot of good stuff and a lot of shitty stuff that has this concept.
Same.
And for me, I think it's like it really depends on how. First of all, like execution, obviously, like all these tropes should just have the sort of overarching thing of it really comes down to execution.
Yeah.
But ignoring that, right? Just because that's sort of obvious and it should be just assumed for everything we're going to be talking about. I think it depends on what the show wants you to think
Yeah.
about its power of friendship. Because like, I'm going to compare like One Piece and Fairy Tale again because we already made this
Like,
comparison.
it's very easy to
No,
because
wait,
Fairy Tail
yeah.
rips it off.
Yeah, and no, so I'm comparing them because I'm not creative. So
Same.
in One
I
Piece,
feel
for
that.
the most part, it's mental. You know, like someone saying, "Oh, don't give up, Luffy. I believe in you."
No.
Haha. Obviously phrased better. I'm not going to remember things off the top of
Let's
my
all
head.
go home together. Nice
Yeah, yeah.
stop line.
Yeah, some shit like that. And so it's like that's sort of it's fine because that's what One Piece expects of you, right? It
Yeah.
genuinely does not give a shit about people's powers. It sort of makes them up on the fly.
Yeah.
It cares more that haha, Luffy is getting powered up by his friends. But then in Fairy Tale, it's really weird because it doesn't exactly know what it wants to do with it. Because the scene that's sticking out in my head is when Natsu's on top of that crystal tower, and then they
Yes.
yell, "Don't give up, Natsu!" and then he starts eating the tower.
He
What?
ate the tower. He ate the
Yes,
tower.
What?
he eats
That's
the
amazing.
tower, and because the tower is made of like fire crystal or some shit, he gets
He
powered
gets
up
powered
and
up.
beats the shit out of I don't even remember.
And meanwhile, like when people say "Don't give up, Luffy," he like grits his teeth and like
Like in the
and
opening
like and
rap
like
before
Yes.
kids.
Yeah,
no.
don't give it up, Luffy.
Oh my god. No, but like he
Okay.
grits his teeth or something and like throws another heavy punch without going down, and after the fight's over, he's like actually fucked and like needs help getting up because it was a hard fight. While Natsu just like, "Here, Natsu, here's this lightning magic that you can use now."
Hey, Natsu, here's the plate. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing the
Alright.
fucking Tristan voice.
It's a motivator more than anything. It's not an
Yeah.
actual like.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but
It's not a
then, again,
steroid.
the thing still is like it depends on what the show wants you to think of it. Like, I'm trying to think of like a good example here. I think Kill la Kill comes to mind.
Gurren
if you're looking
Lagan's
for-
the
if
number
you're
one.
looking
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah,
Gurren
no,
Lagann.
Gurren
Gurren
Lagann.
Lagann,
Hey,
yes,
hey,
yes.
wait.
I forgot which one.
If you're looking for examples, maybe we should hit right on the keyboard.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Wow, crazy! Hit right on the keyboard.
Right on the keyboard.
Goku.
Goku is not
I-
power friendship. That's not power friendship.
I have not seen Dragon Ball, so I'm just not.
Well,
That's
there's
like not
there's
a
the
good
spirit
example.
ball, right? The spirit bomb, but that's not the
That's the
same
thing,
thing.
these are just examples that have been brought up or I see commonly mentioned, not
Okay,
the
so
quality of them.
so here's the thing. If you're saying Goku's the power of friendship, I don't think you actually paid attention or ever watched Dragon Ball. Because Goku, like, like, was it Krillin died when Krillin died the first time? Because obviously it's Dragon Ball, you bring people back. In actual Dragon Ball, not Z, he like snapped and like went after and got his ass kicked. The guy who killed him, right? And then he trained for like another like year and then won the fight. That wasn't like that was like power of friendship. That was also like, I'm avenging my friend. I'm avenging my best friend. And then when you go Super Saiyan the first time, that wasn't the power of friendship. That was pure rage. Like it's like you're not really paying attention. It's not like the spirit bomb is like taking the power of Earth. It's not friendship power. It's lend me your energy. Like let us help like defend you. Like it's just not this. It's just not. It's not power of friendship. You weren't paying attention.
I
So-
mean,
I'm cutting in for a second because I think this kind of goes back to what I was first talking about with like how you have to have first you need baseline and then you need to like write it to be good. Where like in this instance with like Goku whatever, suppose it was more like Gohan who was definitely more like fights for his friends kind of strategy or kind of thing, and like him and Krillin are doing fine until Krillin dies, and then instead of the power of friendship, which is like the trope, it gets turned on its head and it's like, oh man, now my power of friendship is gone. I'm going to go fucking ballistic. Whereas like. And like you see that too in other shows too. Like I'm going to talk about Madoka a bunch because it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Where you have a character who like definitely tries to do the power of friendship multiple times in like different timelines, and it always doesn't end up working. So it like definitely takes that trope and screws it up a lot, and like kind of turns it on its head. So Goku's got like obviously a very simplistic version, but it's one of those trope setters that needs to actually be there so everyone else can write the stories based off of it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's like no, I get what you're saying.
Dragon Ball's tough because it's like one of the popular medias that was very there, like at the beginning.
One of
Even
those
though there's
popular
like
things
older
ever.
shows and whatever.
It's like the
Honestly, I don't
Saying
think.
if
I mean, just to chime in, I don't think Goku is more the power of friendship is like, or in Z, I haven't seen original. It felt more like, though it was kind of motivated by the death of a friend. I'm not sure if that inherently
That's not what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's
like
not
it's
what
it's,
they're
it's,
talking
it's a
about.
different thing.
It's like a fourth cousin.
Yeah.
So, if I may, so I haven't seen any of the Dragon Balls. I have osmosis through all my friends in India talking about Dragon Ball nonstop while I was
Yes.
growing up.
Yes.
From what I gather, it's never really been power of friendship so much as it is the sort of association of Dragon Ball with other big shonen like Naruto and Bleach.
That's
and shit.
that's what it is. It's
no,
getting one
where,
thing.
where it's no, where it's like, yeah, you have Goku yelling about or yelling and increasing his power for like 3 episodes straight, right? Like
Yeah.
that
Right.
might not actually be power of friendship, but it's so similar to like how other shonen do it
Mhm.
with power of friendship that it's just sort of
Right.
gets put under the same umbrella.
Yeah, no, this was like an umbrella incident because, like, again, as someone who's read it and watched it, like, I've like actually, seen the entire story, unlike the majority of people. It's just not really a common trope in it. If you want to talk about power scaling as a bad trope in Dragon Ball, by all means.
Yeah.
But power of friendship, nah.
All right.
I think
Speaking-
the two
next
just.
one, next one.
I think
Hey,
the
do we
two
have some
just
other
overlap.
examples?
We're going to the next example, which
Yeah,
is
yeah, next one.
Kamina from Gurren Lagann.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
okay, so Gurren Lagann, I mentioned earlier. I think this is the kind of case where it's like
Works.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
The
like
show's about hype and hype only.
Yeah.
like
The
the
thing is,
show.
I think
never-
Kamina actually makes the concept work because his whole thing is basically about like unity and building each other up and like
He's like
You
the
Better
No,
grit your
and-
teeth.
oppressive
the
forces
thing
and shit like
is-
that.
I think the thing is, Gurren Lagann sort of sets its expectations to that, like in the first few episodes itself, right?
I think it's
Like just from when they fight the thingy that crashes down into their city.
yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but whatever. Just from when they fight that, right? It's like overcoming impossible odds through sheer bullshit and friend power.
Right.
It's like
It
you
works.
know-
And when it doesn't work either.
The show's built
Yeah.
around it. It's
The
self-aware.
show, the show is built around becoming the drill that pierces the heavens and grit your teeth so you can do it.
It's also
Yeah, so it's like when
it's-
when you hit the ending sequence where like a whole bunch of shit happens, I really don't remember. I was just watching the pretty colors
galaxies
and-
being
Yeah.
tossed at each other.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
actual
nuts.
galaxies.
Yeah, it's like they're just beating the shit out of each other with the space-time fabric. You're like,
yeah.
shit, dude, go for it.
It's also a matter of like the show itself is not only like about like building other people up, it's kind of like them believing in you and you like using it to fuel yourself. So it's like it kind of bounces off back and forth and you get this hype factory.
There's something special when, like, if you don't believe in yourself, but other people do, and it's like, okay, that might be able to get me going, even if I don't do it. There's people who think I can do it. It's
Yeah.
almost like an imposter syndrome, like Breaker. But
Imposter.
I think one of my favorite examples of friendship power in this is in the beginning where they fight. I think his name's Viral, the guy with
Yeah, the animal guy.
Yeah.
the very beginning. And Kamina is like, okay, he's gonna get Simone involved in it by taking the what's the tiny ones, the tiny one, the Gurren or the Logon.
The
Gurren's
big
Gurren's
one
the
is
head. Gurren's the head, I think.
No,
Gurren's
no.
the head.
Wait, is it? Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, he takes whatever Simone's thing is. Like, we're gonna combine, and everyone's like, power of friendship. Oh my god, they're gonna do it. They're hyping him up, and he literally just jabs it into his head, and it's like shouldn't even stay there.
Yeah.
Classic.
All right, next
All right.
one.
Really good.
Yugi. Hey, it's
Yugi.
Yugi.
Oh
I-
man, this is my favorite.
I have not seen Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right.
So it's been many years since I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh.
It has also been many years since I have seen Yu-Gi-Oh.
My favorite power of friendship Yu-Gi-Oh moment is when Taya gets them all together and draws a smiley face on their hands all
That's the
together.
number one example that comes to
Yeah.
mind.
And at the same time, like 3 of the 4 characters are 100% irrelevant. So like it doesn't even matter if they're
No,
there
it-
because
On
it's a
top
card
of that,
game. It's about
in the
drawing the
same
right card at the
episode-
right time.
In the same episode, they both like utilize quote unquote power of the cards and power of friendship at the same time.
I
Yeah.
Card game from
I
motorcycles.
mean, yes, and then you just have Kaiba goes like, "Screw the rules, I have money," and it does.
No, but you have like
yeah.
Yugi. He always draws Dark Magician at the right time. I don't know how he does it.
Even in Dungeon Dice Monsters, which is a ripoff of Duel Monsters. I
Yeah.
can recite that entire abridged episode. That is my favorite episode.
I
abridged.
love Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge. It's so funny.
But effectively, the reason that this one's up here is like I think it's fair to say that Yu-Gi-Oh is not a particularly great example of Nakama being used properly, so much as just a means by which you
Yeah.
convince people to buy cards.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now, what are your guys? What would you
I mean,
say is your
that's-
favorite moment? Maybe not in Yu-Gi-Oh, but just like your favorite Nakama power. Anything that
Oh.
happens with the full team.
Ooh.
Oh.
Like, in
Just,
all of media or in
the
anime?
entirety of One Piece.
Give me a 10-second pitch on your favorite moment, everybody.
Probably just Gurren
Uh,
Lagann.
Gurren Lagann's awesome. One Piece with the "Let's all go home together." That's in like a later
Yeah.
part.
I like
Like
that.
that-
That's a nice.
That Usopp just screaming it. I'm just like, oh my god.
I'm not sure if it's my favorite moment, but one that comes off the top of my head is when wait, I can't say this. It's an Attack on Titan, but it's a big spoiler, so I can't say it.
I
Fight.
feel like
Yeah,
I
it's
know
fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah.
Fight. Yeah.
Yes.
Brendan, what's your favorite Nakama power up?
Probably just any scene from Gurren Lagann. I don't
Yeah,
watch too much
it's
stuff
good.
that has that kind of stuff. I think Gurren Lagann pretty much encapsulates what I wanted from it.
Yeah. Gurren Lagann's also something I just.
You
like.
better grit your teeth.
You better
that
grit your
one.
teeth.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Personally,
Next,
my absolute favorite. I don't know if I just want to say this because I don't know if
Alright.
there's a trope here.
I may be
So I don't know if
stupid.
I'm just gonna stop talking.
I'm sorry, but
I may be an idiot, but even I knew. I think what? I don't get
It's a
this.
bad. It's the bad joke of
Can I
like look how stupid I am.
This is a-
But
this is a-
even
this
I
is a
knew
good take.
that.
do you mind if I don't know what to say about this. I want to see an example.
Yeah.
If you
I
want to
think
top
we
one,
I
go
can give you
ahead.
one.
Mio.
I can give you a really bad one.
Mio Nietzsche.
I feel like
That's a bad example.
I thought the other girl from Nichijou is more of an example.
That's a terrible
Yeah,
example.
this is a terrible example. What? The fuck?
Yeah.
What,
Look, this was one of the ones where I saw it in the list. I was like, it seems like one that I'm fine with talking about, but it seems like it'd be hard to bring up examples. But it listed examples, so I was like, okay, I'll put them in.
I don't think.
See what
Yeah,
people
that's a
know.
I
that's a
don't.
terrible example.
I don't think Mio is like even the dumb one in that group,
I
Mio's
mean,
like
or the quote unquote.
she
dumb
has her
one.
dumb
Oh,
moments, but she's not the
yeah.
dumb one.
Yeah.
they're all dumb. It's just like
Yeah.
Mm,
I-
eh.
that isn't dumb. What's her name? I can't remember.
I kind of want to see the other example.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Love it.
What is this?
Connie.
Huh?
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 He literally says one time, like, I'm not the smartest, but I'm trying to do what's right. Is
It's a little
that what
different.
the?
That's a little different than this particular retort.
Huh?
I'm so confused.
Connie's like such a nice kid. Like, I'm
Who's
so
so good
upset
at
by
this?
this. He knows he's not the smartest bulb in the room, but like he does his best anyways. Like,
Why
is that the trope you're talking about?
Why
No,
do these-
no. So
No,
like,
this is like
when I
this
look
is
at
like-
it, it sounds more like a comedy side character trope,
Yeah.
like something you see in Aho Girl or some shit.
This does not seem like it fits either of these characters.
so. Here's the question then: what is a show that does it right? The side character way does it right.
So for one, it would have to be a comedy.
Someone-
Like
Yep,
absolutely.
I have one in mind, but it's not going to be nearly what you think it is.
Neenan says
I was-
yes. That's the point. Huh?
I mean,
Huh?
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 I think we knew who submitted it.
Huh?
Wait.
I-
Connie doesn't fit this because you can have people who aren't as he never goes. Even I know that, and I'm stupid. He doesn't do that.
It sounds like something you'd hear on a 4Kids morning cartoon.
It sounds
It's
like
like
some.
It sounds like something Ash would say.
protagonist, yeah, like no, not Ash. Like a side character who meets Ash for one episode, is like, haha, Ash, you're so stupid. I'm an idiot, but even I knew that. And then the Pokédex starts talking about weaknesses.
Smell you later,
Yeah.
loser.
If the concept
Yeah.
behind this is that like every character just has a lapse of intelligence for a very convenient moment, and then they try to validate it by saying like, "Oh, the dumb character even understood it," and it's like try to make some grand message.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
feel
Connie
like
doesn't have those moments. Like
I
that.
feel
That's
like-
the part that like
No.
is bugging me.
I can work
Here's
with-
my take on this. I think that this trope could be used very, very effectively in a serious moment where you have a main character, say it's like Naruto or whatever, and we see that someone sucks. Like Shikamaru has always sucked since like the beginning, and then we see Shikamaru like absolutely kick someone's ass, and Naruto's like, wow, like this guy was awful, but he's actually so much better than I thought. Which is like that's how you do it in a non-serious way, where you have some sort of situation where a main character needs to accomplish something, and the person they look down on most was able to do it where they couldn't. I think is like the non-comedy version. But the comedy version's always going to be, I may be an idiot, but even I knew that.
It's Rock Lee
favorite
and Mike
example-
Guy. It's Rock Lee and Mike Guy.
Yeah, like you think we know Rock Lee absolutely sucks compared to Neji, although Rock Lee also beats the ever loving piss out of Gaara, and like we were not expecting it. So like that's an eye opening moment for seriousness.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
comedy, I don't think you can do it any other way than this.
Yeah, I don't think
Which-
so either.
Yeah,
And,
what
My
was the
favorite
example?
anime of all time. My
Oh.
favorite anime of all time called Aqua Teen Hunger Force, popular
What
in
the hell is
2008 on.
Adults.
Do you not actually know Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Oh,
No.
I've
Oh, you're
seen-
talking about Meatwad?
Vinny,
You're
do
talking
you
about
ever see
Meatwad?
Yeah, I'm talking about
like,
Meatwad.
animation
Talking
about
about-
like, the flying
this is-
meatball and the
so-
flying like
Keep-
right?
Yeah.
I have never heard
Keep
of this.
It's on actual anime. It was a Cartoon Network shitpost TV show.
Adult
Oh,
Swim.
that would explain it. The
But-
Cartoon Network in India got shows from 10 years back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
This,
it would've
so
just
this
started
quote is
there.
from a different time, so
Mhm.
forgive me for what I'm about to say. But there's a scene where the episode is about Master Shake finding his son who didn't know he had, who's an exact copy of him, named Ezekiel. And Ezekiel is an absolute idiot, and he can't do anything right, and Shake hates him. And then one day he walks in, and Ezekiel is playing chess against a chess dragon. It's a giant chess piece with a dragon's head coming out of it. And Ezekiel puts a move down, and the chess dragon flips the board and flies out. And Meatwad's like, everyone's like, oh my god, he just beat the chess dragon, like trying to show how smart Ezekiel is. And Meatwad says, and this is where the language is dated. He says, wow, sorry. It's like, wow, I can't even beat the chess dragon, and I'm retarded.
Oh.
Oh,
And-
So it's not the
Ah.
same. It's definitely
Yeah.
from a different time.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
you only can do it
Yeah.
in a certain way.
Right. But that's the
I was-
point. I knew
was
exactly
gonna
what
say,
you're
like-
talking about.
I was
Yeah.
going to say like the entirety of like Cromartie High School or Great Teacher Onizuka, where it's like everyone's fucking stupid.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good one.
Onizuka is like a moron, but like he just gets people, and it works
Yeah.
because
He-
like
He physically and metaphorically breaks down walls in people's houses.
he does. I love him. Crazy. But yeah, no, that's how it works. But Connie is like the worst example I could possibly think of.
I feel like there are some. Yeah, I can think of a decent amount of characters who would be a better example of this than either of these two, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten our fill on this. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
one. Men going dicko mode whenever they see women, and women accusing men of being perv/harassment for just existing. Nice cock.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
dog, bro.
I like Shadow.
I like Shadow. I hate this. I like it's one of those things where it's okay if they're like, you know, like little white knightish or they won't fight a girl sort of thing. I hate it when it basically is sexual harassment and
Okay.
people
It's not fun,
people
It's
Yeah.
all, it's all,
Okay. Me being the degenerate idiot that I am, I've read every harem on Manga Dex.
Ninja.
So, as such, I can say that this trope is hellspawn, and I hate everything about it, and is single-handedly the reason why the harem genre sucks.
I wouldn't
I-
say it's the handed reason.
No,
I think
no,
it's definitely
no,
a good part of
no. It is single-handedly the reason, because the moment you start dumbing down your characters into this mindset of like, oh, every time they see a woman, they get horny. The writing of your entire work suffers as a result, because you can't have one character constantly behaving like this. And Mason, I know you're about to say Sanji, and it is still annoying when Sanji does that.
Oh no, I
So-
agree. It's my least favorite part of Sanji, who's an otherwise like I think
Yes.
one of my
So-
favorite characters.
Yeah.
He's got
so
the
it's
chivalrous
like,
side, but also the dumb side that no one really cares for.
Yeah,
too.
no,
No,
so
but,
it's like-
but I forget. The thing is that it. I think the only reason why I don't mind as much on Sanji is because he's the butt of the joke. He's the one being made
okay,
fun of.
no. Yeah, no. So here's the thing, right? Even if it is
Yeah.
the one being made fun of, the moment you start having this kind of trope as your main character,
Yeah,
the rest of your work can't be smart as
Right.
a result.
but yeah,
Because
but
it's
Sanji's
like-
not the main character, so it works.
No. Even in Sanji's case, like I think those scenes actively take away from the story.
Yeah,
When it
no,
happens.
no,
So-
I agree.
So it's like,
I agree.
yeah. So when it's happening all the time, for example, in harems, which is why I
Yeah.
brought this up in the first place, it's like everyone's writing has to be just as dumb to compensate. Otherwise, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, and by Sanji, I don't mind it when he goes like Robin Schwan and like gets punched, or like Nami Schwan and gets like punched real quick, because it's just like not like a major thing. It's like a like maybe half a panel joke, and then it doesn't happen for maybe like the next 50 chapters. You know?
It doesn't control his character. It's a
It
thing
doesn't
that
control. Yeah.
and it's like,
yeah,
oh,
that's what I'm talking about. Where it's like it gets over the top at some points. I'm just like, oh, come on.
if you compare this to a harem, this kind of thing happens like
Yes.
every 10 minutes.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Love Hina in particular because that's the one I hate the most. And it's like every like few panels really you're going to have some like either the main characters being horny, like one of the women is getting physically violent for no good reason. It's like you have all these characters behaving so stupidly and they just don't have to. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here's my magic question. I'm going to ask a lot more. I've already asked it. Can you think of a good version where this is like a good way this has happened? That's ever been represented in an anime or manga?
yes.
I,
Hit me with
Yes,
it.
I
I'd
probably
like-
Oh,
can.
wait. No, wait. The first
I-
one, I actually can think of one.
I'll chime in
Oh, which-
after a few people give theirs. 'cause
Sanji
mine is
doesn't even
kinda
go
dumb.
dicko mode. He's just like more of like a
Alright.
he's like a simp.
Actually,
No,
Actually,
that
definitely
that
more than
counts.
one.
Actually,
That counts.
I thought
Yeah, it's not extreme. That's the thing I'm
Alright,
thinking about.
It still
Uh,
counts.
If you want
Yeah.
to think of the first one done right, think of Golden Boy.
all right.
Oh, I love Golden Boy. Yeah, never
I-
mind. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's about as right as it
I-
gets. I think the Twilight
I
gag
haven't
is a little-
seen Golden Boy, so I can't really say. I would say I don't know if any of you here have seen or read it, but Kawaii Complex Guide to Manners, I think it's called. Kawaii Complex.
Nope.
Oh, that's the
Hostel.
one Tiago recommended to me, I think.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That one has a very similar premise to Love Hina, actually, where it's like you have this dude who just got thrust into a like hostel that's filled with like all sorts of different people, mostly female, but not all of them. And it's not a harem for one, which already makes it good. But regardless, he's like obviously this shitty high school kid, and the main love interest is like a men type. But it's done well because for one, the writing isn't shit. They actually grow as characters and come to like respect each other. And really, that's it. The writing isn't shit, and they're not like over the top, and it doesn't control their character.
Yeah.
It's used as an explicit character flaw, which is worked on and dealt with, which is a good thing.
Well, that's good.
Onizuka goes dicko mode, and he's awesome. So like that's how it
Yeah.
works.
Onizuka's very questionable
Alright,
due to
can
his
I-
motives.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
Can I,
yes.
all right. Can I give an example of?
Yeah, sure.
Let me just give an example where.
I got dibs after.
The first one I can think of that has literally this is the entire concept of the show is literally High School DxD.
Tommy.
It's literally
Tommy, no.
Come
Can we
on,
mute the
come
host?
on.
Can we mute the
Go off,
host?
King. Go off,
I
King.
know.
Come on, Tommy.
Can I at least explain myself a little?
No.
About 30 seconds.
No,
Yeah,
Alright.
30 seconds.
All right, I find it hilarious because they kind of double down on him being an idiot who's like, I want a harem. And I find it hilarious, and I can understand why other people would not find it funny. I find it funny just because of how dumb it is, but that doesn't necessarily make it a good use of the trope.
See.
So
Right.
That's
the
it.
one I have for you before we swap over is I read this one manga, and I don't remember the name of it. It's been a long time, but the general plot was it was about a man who was cheating on his wife with
Oh.
like 3 women,
Oh,
and it was like there was a ton of drama in it. Like obviously there's the guy trying to
what
keep it
is-
secret from his wife.
Is it Honeymoon Salad?
This was like maybe 10 years ago. If it was manga form, I don't know if it ever got an anime, but the idea is he had a daughter, he had a wife, and he had 2 girls,
Oh.
2 women he was in love with.
Oh, yeah.
He had a
daughter,
third that
never
he
mind.
so he had a third one too, and there was like a
Mhm.
lot of drama in it
Mhm.
because like the dude for some reason felt like he hated his situation, but he couldn't control himself
Mhm, mhm.
to like get into these awful situations to the point where he accidentally like he has a second cell phone, like lots of cheaters, right?
Mhm.
And he has like he's hanging out with his wife, and he's got his daughter like on his shoulders, and he drops a second cell phone like while handling like a really tense situation with one of the side girls.
Mhm.
And he has to like pick up the cell phone fast, but he screws up and he like accidentally drops his daughter. And it's
Mhm.
like,
Oh,
oh god,
shit.
dude, like how bad can this get for you? Like, how are you doing this? It might be
Mhm.
like NTR, but it might also just be like a really cool drama idea that like the
Interesting.
guy is progressively horny and it's like super detrimental and in not a funny way.
I don't recognize this off the top of my head, which is interesting.
I used to read a lot of really weird shit way back when, so I
Mm-hmm.
can't give you names, and that's one of the reasons I don't have anime and manga list filled out.
Oh, don't worry. I still read a lot of really weird shit.
yeah.
yeah.
I also read some weird shit that I don't
Can't
remember.
relate.
Like freezing.
I can't relate.
Can't relate.
Freezing.
Hey,
Oh,
listen,
not
I
breathing. It's been
Let's-
years
Well,
since I've
All
had
right,
to
let's,
breathe.
let's
Yeah,
move on.
listen.
Move
Last
on.
thing I'll say is sometimes you click the webtoons and you're like, I should not be reading this. Next,
Big old titties.
intelligent
old
character pushing up glasses against the sun. Listen, I do
Eh.
this in
You should
real
use-
life.
Yo,
Like,
that's
Because you're
Right.
trying to be smart.
I do this in real
It's
just a
life,
trope.
and it's not even like a
It's-
trope.
I-
It's just something I do because I have glasses.
So here's
Uh,
the picture. Instead of Gendo Hikari right there, it's a picture of Tommy pushing his glasses up, and it says "contingency activated."
See an example, because I don't think we're gonna see a better example. than that.
Example. Oh, how many
Yeah,
agents
yeah.
are we gonna get?
I like the Mewtwo King one, where people edited Mewtwo King's eyes to be like glowing.
True.
No,
That's
see,
organ.
no, it's so funny. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like what?
This is the kind of trope that's just never a bad thing. It's so inoffensive.
It's so cool.
I think it can be overdone, and like
No,
if
like-
your character's like entire persona is built around this, it's like please be more interesting.
Yo,
than-
if they drop it like once or twice, I'm just like, yo, go off, King.
Yeah, exactly.
no,
it's
same.
like,
it's fine.
I think it's a
My two
fun-
favorite variations of this is first one's One Piece with Captain. What was his name? The cat claw guy in like the very beginning.
It's a habit because he doesn't actually wear the glasses.
Yeah, 'cause he has to push him up with the bases of his hands, or he'll cut his face up.
Yeah.
'Cause he has the huge knives,
All right.
Yeah.
This is not
like Captain Kurama or something.
Kuro, yeah.
Yeah, this actually made me remember it. There's this one character in Phoenix Wright whose entire personality is just him pushing up his glasses and resetting them, and it gets old. It technically is relevant because Ace Attorney has an anime, so it's clearly related.
well, turns out if you make all your entire personality just one minor thing, then it's not going to end out
It
well.
gets annoying in grading, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My
not-
other my other favorite version of this is when it's done like not to show it's smart, but to show that something's up. Like when we like in Full Metal Alchemist, where Show Tucker
Ooh.
is like, she's like, where did Nina go? It's like where we can get the money for this. When he's like being told that his project isn't going to be funded anymore,
Mhm, mhm.
and the next scene is his eyes like as he gets the idea, his glasses are like starting to glow.
Oh
and, like, when
yeah.
he starts to step into the back.
You
That's
want,
my absolute favorite version of this.
all right. You want to know another one that's similar to this that I also enjoy?
Maybe
I'll-
it's an example.
I'll also unlock
Ooh.
it.
Up an example. See what
Shiro
comes
from
up.
Log Horizon.
Shiroi Log Horizon. Oh, I've seen Log Horizon. Woo, that's the main character.
Oh, okay.
I don't really care for it there just because it's like funny.
It works better
uh,
when it's comedy.
Thing is, the
Yeah,
comment,
so
the comment specifically for this one said that their immersion was broken because he did it like 10 times an episode.
so I haven't seen season 2. He might do it more there. Season 1 he didn't. Like, and
It's
that
funny,
wasn't
short
really
clip.
his entire character. Like he did it a lot, but for one, I wear glasses, so I'm probably a little bit more sympathetic to people pushing up their glasses because mine are always slipping off.
Man, rip
And you're
my
so
glasses.
smart.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
remember.
I'm so smart. Yeah.
I remember I used to like before I lost some weight, my glasses never slipped off my head, but because I lost weight, now I have to constantly adjust my glasses.
Yeah, so I think I'm a little bit more sympathetic, but I never really I never saw it as like grading or immersion breaking, just because like it's in a world where there's like, like cat people, like they're doing all sorts of absurd shit. Like, why
Right.
can't this dude just push up
I look
his glass a bit more often than usual?
low key. I kind of want to see more anime characters with goggles. Like, there's this one baseball player, who only Mason will know. Extremely off topic, but like, okay, actually, yeah, I'm not going anywhere with this. Let's introduce the next example.
No, I mean from Jujutsu Kaisen's Suite.
Yeah.
He's got
Yes,
goggles
this
and he's
guy.
Oh, okay. So
Oh no, that's a
Sakamoto-
comedy. That's a comedy.
That's a
No. So I think Sakamoto is a good example of
I
this,
wanna
where
put
they
that
have
on.
one joke and just one joke exclusively, which is that Sakamoto is perfect. That's the joke.
That is
And so I can see how it would get grading if you just watched all 12 episodes at once, because it's like, haha, I wonder if the next episode is going to be 24 minutes of skits about how perfect Sakamoto is. Haha, crazy.
More likely than not, yes.
Yes. So like I can see how that get grading, because it's sort of similar to how people hate One Punch Man, because the joke is he just kills everything in one punch.
yeah, but yeah, no, that's true. But
So except it's more flanderized because One Punch Man is like half comedy,
yeah,
Yes.
no, it's
But-
it's
but
It's-
this is like full comedy.
yeah, no, like One Punch Man is also like satire. as well.
Yeah, so I think Sakamoto's a better example, just because it's like, the one joke. It's quite literally one joke.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think. Oh wait, I just remembered the actual thing I was going to say. There's also like another extent of this, like where you have a character who just takes off their glasses and cleans them, then puts them back on before some shit goes down.
Hey, man, like, I'd empathize. If I'm
Yeah.
going into some shit, I want to see clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
My glasses get filthy if I don't clean them for a while.
Yeah, it's like I just take out I take out something, I just wipe it down. It's like, okay, time to do this shit, and then people just like,
Y'all
Yeah.
gonna tell me Zeke Yeager? You're all gonna tell me Zeke Yeager pussy because he wears glasses? That's
Yeah.
when I'm gonna draw
no,
the
it's
line.
just like I don't want someone to like, wait, wow, he cleaned his glasses, lame. I'm just here, I'm like, what? He
I
just
do
wants
that.
to
I don't think
see.
anyone's ever said that. I don't think anyone's ever said
Yeah.
I hope no. There's probably at least one person who said that. It's like,
Tommy's making up a man.
that. Yeah. Straw man. I love
Yeah,
the straw man.
wow, the straw
Let's go.
man, crazy.
Let's go. Let's
Alright,
go.
next. Spoiler
What do we-
warning.
Oh,
Next
what?
one is this next one's going to be kind of heavy on the spoilers. So
Does
it's
this
just-
one
endings and
involve?
Yo.
Does this one involve any ones that I might be concerned about?
Okay, so
only
I'm
only
going
the
to,
six
I'm
that I
going to,
mentioned above can come up.
I know which three. I have an idea of which three.
Oh shit!
I know
what
two of
if you
them.
wanna
I
play
know
it
two of them.
is?
If you want to play
Yeah.
it safe, just press right arrow key right now.
Yo,
Yeah.
one. All right.
You just press, yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Bad.
Wait. What?
Bad. Yes. So I think the thing is, endings and final arcs that needlessly occur in space. I think the trope itself, like the way it's worded, is kind of shooting itself in the foot by saying needlessly. Because obviously, if it's needlessly in space, that is a bad thing, right?
It needs to be in space. Little Witch
No.
does not.
Concept
No,
of a space ending usually ends up with a show that's like, okay, how do we make this big grand ending? Because space is like, the final frontier. It's usually seen as like the final climbing point when it comes to escalating your power and strength and stuff. So it makes sense that some shows end in space. However, when there's people who think we need to have this dramatic ending, just force it up in the stars, and your narrative falls apart because of it, that's a problem.
I mean, honestly,
Hey,
I feel like in general, it's like sometimes it makes sense. Like, what if you have a show that's entirely based around space travel?
That's
I mean,
fine.
Yeah, that's
That's fine.
The
But
show is
you're-
occurring in space.
When
The
I
show
was-
is literally
Yeah,
occurring
so,
in
like,
space.
like nobody.
Multiple people posted this take, and one person's put Space Luluco down, and I was like, "Excuse me."
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's like Luluco is in space.
The whole point of show is
what show are you talking
Oh man, I
about?
got a good one.
Li-
So one of my
Little Witch
favorite
Academia.
No, yeah,
Well, my
Little Witch.
favorite
Little.
mangas.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Me. One of my favorite mangas of all time. So one of my favorite mangas of all time is Zatch Bell or Gash Bell, and
Yeah.
the final battle actually ends up in space. And
Mm-hmm.
at first, it's kind of like a joke because like one of the characters' powers that the main character borrows is like he can project people. So he can project like visions into people's brains. So he thinks they're out in space, but then I think they take it into actual space. It's not quite clear until you're actually in space and you're just riding the hype train.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
I think this again comes down to what the anime has set its expectations as. So, like, for example, in Little Witch Academia, the expectations, like for the entire first half of the show, is that this is like a grounded, like, Ako's figuring out her school life. She's figuring out like how to solve problems and learn about magic and what it means to her. And then at the end, they fight a magical nuke in space, which is like
Yeah, no,
where the-
it's literally better Harry Potter at the start, and it turns into like bad Gurren Lagann by the
Actual
end.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter.
yeah, actual Harry Potter.
Why must all
No.
are all trigger shows?
There are markedly less racial stereotypes.
I
Yeah.
feel like
And turfs.
And turf.
why must all Little Witch why must all trigger shows end in space?
Well, no, the thing is,
It's fucking cool.
like, listen, there's literally nothing more hype than. I mean, it's not Trigger, but it's Gainax, which they
Well,
have like very carryover. But like, we go to the next one because I'm sure Gurren Lagann is going to come
Let's
up.
go to the next
No.
one.
I think one of them's gonna be-
Yes, Darling in the Franxx.
Yo, fuck this show. Everything's bad about it. It's like, you're like, oh, space ending. I wish we didn't waste like 7 episodes on a beach like arc.
it was
A
one
beach
episode.
arc.
It might as
That's
well
what
have been
they said
7.
it
felt like
It
seven
might as
episodes.
well. It felt like 7 episodes.
One
No,
equals
like
good to
no,
know.
no. See, I think the beach arc was fine just because they had that whole exploring the old town bit where it's like, oh wow, cool, they're learning about.
No, no,
shit they're
no.
not
Here's the thing.
supposed
Here's
to.
the thing. Here's the thing. When they explored the old town and then they had like the friendship speech at the end, I'm just like, what show am I watching?
Keep it on topic. Keep it on topic.
But anyways, it had the entire thing is like on Earth the entire time. It literally
Yes.
is on Earth the entire time. There's no signs of it ending up in space, but it's Trigger, and they're awful at their writing staff is actively terrible. So they just decided, I guess we have to be in space now. That's what Gurren Lagann did.
Well, here's the thing. If you look at Darling in the Franxx' whole plot and you compare it to something like Gurren Lagann, and yeah, I think at this point I gotta say Gurren Lagann spoilers, both of them follow the same thing. All the humans are fighting this known entity that's a bad guy, and they're the bad guy for the first half of the show. And then the second half they reveal, wait a minute, there's a new enemy.
There's a secret bad guy.
We have to fight them somewhere else. And of course, the escalation is we have to do it in space. Gurren Lagann, it actually works. With Franxx, it's like it's this weird world drama / mystery, and there's like it's not really it's not really set up for a point where like it can do this and actually like feel like it's not just pulling the carpet from underneath you without any sort of like real setup for it.
I
The
honestly,
I read
first
the plot
line,
on
the first
Wikipedia.
line in the first line in Gurren Lagann is all the stars in the sky are our enemy. You know, it establishes that eventually
fight the sun.
you're going to space.
I feel
Yeah,
like
you're going to be fighting the sun.
Franxx doesn't deserve a space ending because the show itself did not set up a space ending, and it gave us one. It doesn't mean I have to like it. It doesn't mean it fits.
True.
So I read the plot on Wikipedia because I didn't want to watch the show, and under no circumstances would I ever expect they'd end up in space.
Dude, the concept of face ship is
So there's
Face
issues with
ship?
that.
What?
That don't question it, Tommy.
What?
Um,
I-
there's a lot of issues with how they executed the space ending that really not worth getting into right now.
Tommy, see the square image right there? That's not a character. That's a spaceship like the size of a star destroyer. It's a spaceship.
That's a giant anime, babe.
Yeah, no. So again, like, don't
Actually, a
question it.
dinosaur.
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
what
It's
to say.
it's actually half dinosaur, half spaceship.
What?
Or no,
We're not
dinosaur,
joking. We're
1/4
not joking.
dinosaur, 1/4 human, half spaceship.
Are
Yeah.
Do
you
you guys talk
shitting me?
about the show like it's a bad
What?
thing? That's
No.
amazing.
Okay. Can we
It's-
move
it's
on to the
trigger.
next example? I'm trying to
It's
wrap my
trigger.
head
Yes.
around before I like this turns into a Darling in the Franxx rant.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
What?
I think I know the third.
And
Yeah.
Viva. I mean.
Okay. So
eh,
I mean,
kind
Here's
of.
the thing: just because an example is shown here doesn't mean that it's necessarily good or necessarily bad. It's just a
no.
topic.
So
I
I
mean,
don't even think, I'm pretty sure they're not even in space. I think Shinji's
No.
just in the sky at the end.
No, there's
No,
definitely
no, no,
space
no.
and even there's definitely space.
There's space. So the only part they're actually in space is when Shinji is undergoing the existential crisis when third impact happens.
Hmm.
When he's kind of floating around the Earth with that weird dream sequence. So there's not much that really happens in space, and I never thought of it as a bad thing just because like third impact is a planetary scale event.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's like, what better way to show us a planetary scale event than from space with Comsus Todd playing, right?
It's also
Yeah.
there's a planetary event that also involves like intergalactic beings because like it's Adam and
mean,
Lilith from like
so
very different like galaxies coming towards you.
No. So the thing with Adam and Lilith is that it's like they, at least from what I understood, right? I know half of the show's symbolism is just, haha, wouldn't this be cool? But from what I understood, at least of the actual, or my understanding of Adam and Lilith is that they're never meant to actually show up because they don't.
I don't need to. I'm just saying that because these are elements that have come from other galaxies, stuff, it makes sense that space can get involved in some capacity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There actually is set up for this because like
life is spread through space and
every
ends in
single
space.
episode has been like some giant being coming at you from
And-
some other
and-
part of the universe to hunt you
And
down. It makes sense that space is involved.
episode 21 of Eva, they do fight something in space.
Oh, that's the spear hucking one, right?
But the thing
Yeah,
is,
that's a spear hucking one.
yeah, Eva is also like it fits the space thing because again, Gynax had a writing staff, and it kind of establishes that there's funky shit happening in space.
Yeah.
I think my general conclusion just goes back to what I said initially. Space is oftentimes seen as a final frontier, like massive grand scale field where you can do
I-
insane endings, but you need to make sure you actually set yourself up for it.
The drill's gonna pierce you're the drill that's gonna pierce the heavens. Kind of establishes that, like in the first episode. You know?
Don't just
Yeah.
randomly go to space because you can go to space.
I-
Unless your show is entirely about like going off the wall and being insane and stuff, you kind of need to like preempt this.
I feel like
One time-
there needs to be some setup at least. Like it can't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you can't just drop a giant magical WMD on us and expect us to accept 4 girls on a broomstick flying into the stratosphere.
No, it's only 2.
It's 4.
Is it 2? That's 4. Yeah,
It's 4.
it's 4
Yeah.
that becomes 2.
Yes.
So on a somewhat related note, one time I was driving home in the snow and I crashed my car. And the reason I bring this up is because Calm Suster Todd was on my radio. It was on my my phone, and it was the very beginning. So the entire time I was sliding and also waiting for traffic to let me back in, I was listening to someone singing about wanting to die, and that is the final arc for me.
Oh
Damn.
no,
Towards the end of the evening,
Understand.
That's some heavy.
he just
No.
That's some
he
heavy
just ends up
shit.
in
Damn.
space.
That's relatable content.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
some heavy shit right there.
All right, let's keep
That's
it.
okay, the car was not.
Next,
Yeah.
monologuing and
car had
fights about power
was-
levels or
it was my
morality
car's
or
first
intentions
impact.
or whatever.
I
I think it can be
I
done
get-
well. Honestly, like
I
sometimes
get-
it depends.
think this is
I
just
like
another case of like.
That was my favorite one in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You caught me monologuing.
It was
Oh
yes,
yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
PS, but you can't go around with a PS on your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like I think monologuing about power levels or whatever, I'm indifferent on it just because it's one of those things where it's like it's very hard to communicate intent in a fight without or just in general. And monologuing is like a massive sort of break from that. It breaks up the fight a lot. But I think it really depends on how important you want the actual act of them fighting to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like, one thing I've heard is that Demon Slayer, this is what I've heard. Mason, you're probably more qualified to talk on this.
Yeah.
But Demon Slayer has a problem with it just because it's like they want the fights to be impactful, but then they drop a whole backstory in the middle of it.
Yes, they've done this so repeatedly, and these are minor spoilers. Repeatedly in Demon Slayer, because they want you to feel bad, I guess, for demons, despite the show being called Demon Slayer: Blade That Kills Demons.
Mhm.
So they want you to feel bad for the demons. So during the fight, you'll like hard cut to backstory of how they were actually sad, and that's why they had to murder people.
But
I
mean,
So, like when like literally like the climax of season 1 is immediately ruined by a shitty spider kid voiced by Tsukishima going, I'm picking up his head that was just cut off, going, you fool, I actually already pre-cut off my head. You'll never be as strong as me. And like starts monologuing at Tanjiro, and then the fucking stronger swordsman comes up to save the day. But it's just like that's when it's really bad. And I think a good way to do this, One Piece does it a lot, Dragon Ball's done it a bunch, where it's like quippy, like in between blows.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good way to get the intentions out without completely pausing the action for, in Demon Slayer's case, to completely emotionally undercut the scene before and actually ruin the show. So when you start talking in fights and you start showing backstory in fights, that doesn't have any real impact, and it's just a way to try and emotionally manipulate someone. That's when it gets really bad, or it's like clearly buying time for like someone else to come save the day, versus quippy back and forth, like oh, why don't you just give up already? I can't do that, stuff like that.
yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because like, honestly, I think that in some cases, if it's like done well before like the actual fight, or if it's done during it, I think it can honestly work pretty well and kind of like like someone's kind of talking about why they're going into a battle or like pumping themselves up, and it can work, but I feel like in some cases it can kind of take away from the action if it's just like you're stopping in the middle of a fight and you're just like, oh, you're powerful, well I am also powerful, but you'll never
That's
beat
why
me.
internal monologue is so important,
Yeah.
like during the fight.
Yeah, no,
Like,
You know, like it's a weird example, but you know what I honestly think does it at least like decently well?
yeah,
Symphogear.
oh yeah, that's
where-
actually, that's a good
Where
example.
all of like the internal monologue shit is just converted into lyrics for the song and they just put it at the top of the screen while the fight's going on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
No,
no, I
Marlon,
think
It,
that's
it,
cool.
it's just when Hibiki stops and screams "Stop fighting" when it's
Okay,
actually
yeah, no, see, that has other issues, but that's a whole other discussion.
All right.
I think
Alright.
so. I
For the
think this
purposes
trope
of
is a
explaining
really
fight
cool one.
conventions is fine. Yeah.
I think this trope is a really cool one to subvert because it's super boring by itself. I think, and
Yeah.
when you subvert it, it's really cool. Like the number one example for me, not an anime or a manga, but have you guys ever read the original Watchmen comic book?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Yes,
Yes, I
Oh, I
have.
So
already
at
did
the
it.
end-
Oh,
I
I've
know,
already
I
done
know
it.
exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
So you guys,
Ozymandias, it's so sick.
yeah. So when Ozymandias is explaining the evil plan, and the owl is like, "Well, we should try to stop him," and he says to him almost verbatim, "It's like, what do you think I am? Some sort of Republic serial villain? I
Yeah.
started the plan 35 minutes ago, and then everything happens, and it's all a nightmare." It's like that's like the
Yeah.
coolest way. I think this
I like
is one
Syndrome. You
really
caught
cool.
me mono. Syndrome.
Yeah,
You
you
caught
caught
me
me
monologue.
really.
One of the best examples.
And then
Mhm.
wait, a great example is Tommy, plug your ears real quick.
All right.
Plug your ears real quick. I'm waiting till he's deafened, or at least his ears are plugged. But Enel, where he's like about to start monologuing, and Luffy just says "shut up" and drop
Oh, yeah.
kicks him.
Tiny monologue. It's really basically just he's distracting them so Ritsu can throw a brick at his head, and it's like that. That's awesome because the monologue works. It's exactly what he was talking about, but the main purpose was just to fucking nail him with a brick.
Yeah, I think subverting the monologue is fun, but I think also just
Alright.
Getting off a
I will get
monologue
there
in
eventually.
general is really fun.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, if a work can do it right and make it actually impactful and fun, that's like cool.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
it's hard. It's hard just because of the fact that a monologue is like a momentum drain for any scene that's happening,
Mhm.
unless you're like explicitly showing off yourself as dramatic, and even then it can be bad. Shout outs to actually no, fuck Ayn Rand, for putting a 60-page monologue at the end of one of her books. I forgot which one it was, but I had to read it for something.
Why?
And-
What teacher would ever put you through that?
No,
I had
it
to read
wasn't.
Anthem.
Teacher. It was for like some private tuition thing I was taking, and they're like, "Oh, you should read this book because not because of the ideologies, but because like it's well written." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, like I've had to read like questionable stuff for other things as well. This should be cool."
Reading for fun, am I right?
And then I read through the book, and it's like, yeah, this is like terribly written. This book is shit. And then at the end, there's a 60-page monologue, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
I read Anne for the plot.
Why am
I
I?
love the plot of Ayn Rand.
Why am
I said
still,
I, guys. I said I.
Why am
I read through all of it, and I'm like, wow, fuck poor people. Am I right? Anyways.
It's
Yeah,
like,
let's
why
keep
am I
moving.
still? It's like, why am I still here? Just to suffer.
Politics takes podcast one. Let's move on.
Oh,
yikes.
I feel like that would
no.
get me. I feel like that would get me banned.
Not gonna get
so
to
let's
you're not
do
gonna get
that.
TOS.
No,
I
not
will
by us.
probably
that would
get
be
banned.
awful.
Not
Not
by
getting
us.
TOS.
Well, I
as long
won't,
as
but
no one
like
does
I'm
any awful
afraid
things.
it'll get banned. So
Let's go. Let's go.
Next.
Go, yeah.
Someone's gonna
Next!
reveal themselves to be a libertarian. I'm gonna
All
have
right,
to.
spoiler.
Like Muhammad's D&D character.
Wait, Mohammed's D&D
He's an actual
character.
lizard.
All right.
Yeah.
Protagonist refuses to finish the job for whatever reason. Oh, is this one
Uh,
that I'm gonna be kind of like, yeah, shit.
Mm,
Okay, so here's the thing.
Wait,
the
wait,
Vader,
I
that
need to-
Vader,
Darth Vader's
that's like
there.
a
I need
really
to say
good
something.
example.
Yes. Say
I need to say
it.
something because Darth Vader's there. I saw this fucking hilarious meme that was in an alternate universe of Star Wars. When Darth Vader tells Luke that he's his father, he assumes that Darth Vader got married to Anakin Skywalker and adopted him. Okay, go on your point. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, Darth Vader's like a very great example of like a villain not wanting to finish the job.
mhm.
Like that's
Because it's his kid.
It's his kid. Wants
And
him
the
to
Sith
join him.
teachings.
Yeah, he wants to join him and rule the
Mhm.
galaxy together as father and son. Like that's like
Yeah.
an actual like
Motivation.
solid motivation as to why he didn't do it. There's plenty of
It also gives him his call to power because in the Sith you can only have two. So
Yeah.
like you need
Yeah.
your own apprentice if you want to kill your master.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean let's see some other examples because like this has been in a lot of stuff. I think seeing the
Yeah,
examples would be good.
I want to see what exactly the example.
All right, let's go here. Okay, I'm gonna unplug because I don't know who this is.
Oh yeah, unplug Tommy.
Yeah.
So in this case, Crocodile thought he killed him.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's-
think One Piece. I'm trying to remember because I don't remember much of.
I
like,
remember I
One
remember
Piece's-
this exactly. I remember this exactly.
No,
So
I'm saying in general.
it's,
you
specifically
go
with
ahead.
Croc.
Yeah, you go ahead. I'm just trying to remember.
So
some stuff.
so the
OP
only
it's worth noting that OP in general does kind of give the Straw Hats a bit of
Plot armor.
leeway
now and
when
then,
it comes
yeah.
to their durability.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I will be fair. It's not like they're the only ones that are like super durable in this world. The villains take an equal amount
Everyone
of
has
punishment.
gallons of blood.
Yes, everyone
Yeah.
has gallons of blood. And so
Reserve.
with One Piece, right? It is specifically Crocodile. He thought Luffy was dead, and he left him for dead because he wanted to go back to the city to finish off his plan. And Robin saves Luffy in that instant.
I
Right.
think there's all you're thinking of that instant. I'm thinking of the cage.
Crocodile's.
Casino. That's filling
Oh,
up with
that?
water.
Oh, that did? Yeah, no. Sanji came and saved the day.
I think.
Yeah,
no,
but here's
so
the thing: why not just end the job right there instead of doing the over dramatic? Let the water fill the room.
the.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That's true.
I think the
That's just
example.
Austin Powers.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the example I'm thinking of is I don't know if Brendan has reached this part.
Mine's lobby right now.
And he saw.
Yeah. Oh, he's at lobby. That's after the games, right?
Yes. The
Okay,
Davy back games.
Yeah. So, and the games is around the Long Island, right? Where everyone was long.
Long Land, Long Island.
Yeah.
My people.
Where it's okay, cool. So, at that part when the ice guy, I forgot his name,
Aokiji.
right? Yeah, when he came and just froze Luffy,
Yeah.
like he just showed up, like froze him and dipped. I think that was a not very good example of this because it's like the world government has very clearly wanted this guy gone.
But
so long.
Aokiji's like
Well, here's the thing.
Aokiji's
Aokiji in
different.
specific was given a. The thing is, Aokiji. You could also say the thing about Aokiji when Robin's Island was getting Buster Call to begin with,
He's
because
not
he
a
never
bad
saved
guy.
Robin.
No. I think the thing is, yeah, but at the same time, it's like the admirals are in this weird place where their morals are never fully explained.
Well, no,
So
we have
just-
well to be
He's
to
on-
be fair, like Aokiji like clearly believes in some sort of justice, but he doesn't like going overboard.
And the only
Yeah,
reason he
no.
does is
So
because Giant convinces
so-
him otherwise on the Buster Call.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was just confused why he didn't just I don't know, like he didn't have to
he
kill.
did a specific line. He said a
He didn't have
specific
to-
line of like, "Oh, I owe your grandfather one. I'm not going to do this."
Okay, right. I don't remember that.
Yeah. So I owe.
Oh, I have a One Piece example.
Yeah.
So, what was the spring dude? Not the spring dude. The Foxy. Was it Foxy the Silver Fox? Who was
Yes.
the guy who
Maybe back.
they challenged people for everyone else's
True.
everyone else's crew members?
Yeah.
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 That was
So
the game.
so the Straw Hat team wins the second round, and they choose not to pick Foxy to end the games and get everyone back because he tells them not to. So Luffy has to go into the third round to fight him, but he basically convinces Luffy to not finish the job when he could just finish it instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was more of a
Yeah.
comedy one, but yeah, no. With One Piece, I think it's like at least with Crocodile, like the one where they're in the cage and whatever, he could have finished the job right there. The second one I give more leeway on because like Robin actively saved Luffy and Crocodile wanted to get back to the main city. But then Foxy, the Davy Back games are like a like big comedy respite sort of thing, and it was just like
Yeah,
Luffy being a
like-
moron.
Yeah. Davy Beck is like whatever. I don't really count those.
Yeah, it's like
All
filler. It's like filler that's not filler.
Keep
But
going
yeah.
with you. Tommy, you can come back.
Yeah. Tommy, you're safe.
I feel like with this trope, you have to be like a super comedy trope for it to come
Yeah.
off really well, or you have to try to really show
Or-
how your main villain's like
Oh,
thinks he was
Like-
too big for the world.
should I?
Yeah, just be Watchmen.
Okay, just go next. Who's next?
All right,
just
I'm
gonna-
good. Okay, good. Next. Yes.
When does this happen?
Wait. What?
Someone
Wait, no,
included this.
like the entirety of season
3?
3. The
I
entirety
don't
Yeah,
know
of
what
season
the
3.
show is.
Okay.
Oh,
No, so season
wait,
3.
I know. Yeah.
Different. I don't even. So
The-
my thing with Symphogear, like I'm just gonna go off like on this for a second, is that the show knows it's bad. If that makes sense, it's
It
like
doesn't forgive it for being actively awful. For
No,
seasons
no,
3 and
no.
4.
okay. No, listen. The thing with it for me, at least, is that I'm going in expecting what I got, if that makes sense, right? Like, it is bad, yes, I agree. it has a lot of like really not that greatly executed tropes. The fights are fun and flashy. It's just
No, the
What?
fights
No
are
Flash.
the problem is after the fights when it's like, oh look,
Eh.
the two Symphogear users are on the ground, crippled and ready to die. We will kill them. Oh no, wait, we're going to leave for
Saint Germain could have killed all the Symphogear users like
Time's
with
over.
no problem at all. The entirety of season 3 with fucking stupid alchemy, could have killed them like 17 different
Yes.
times.
Yeah,
It's like
No,
it's like at some point you lose the plot armor, right? Like we talk about like straw hats. Oh, they got some durability.
Mhm.
It's nothing. It's nothing compared to what some
No,
shows do.
no.
yeah, it's
Again, see, I get where you're coming from. The problem is, I think, in terms of expectations, because again, yes, like the show does have absurd amounts of plot armor. It has like ridiculous amounts of antagonists being stupid. But again, that's what I want from the show, at least for
Yeah.
me.
I mean, the
Like I
fight-
can see why it's a bad thing, and I can see why it definitely doesn't appeal to you.
Yeah.
But for me, the reason I like the show is because of that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I also like Symphogear because of the bullshit, but like there are times where it's like, let me give an example. Like you have this person, like in general, whenever you have like a person like who's about to like who should be able to kill you, but then the person goes,
Yeah,
"Damn, I've been defeated, but I can't fall here. I must retreat and then come back in 5 episodes." It's like there's only so many times where that can work.
No, there's so many. Like by season 4, I'm just like, how is this 13 episodes?
Yeah,
Like
They
like
should've-
that. Like that's what it gets to.
like they
It's
should
like
have
how.
been. They should have been dead by episode 4 or something.
Yeah,
that's
it's
fair.
just. It's
I think it follows a very similar like plot structure to like Power Rangers of all things.
It does,
Yeah.
and we can't. I'm not going to forgive Power Rangers for what they do there.
Oh no. Like
I'm
I'm not saying it's forgivable, right? Like again, I perfectly understand why this is not a good thing. I'm just saying that's the exact vibes like it's trying to channel.
Also,
Anime girl Power
It's,
Rangers.
it's not this like surprise, like oh, like I can't believe that this is a problem of the show. It's like it's to be expected.
also
Yeah, no, like that the reason why I'm saying it's not that bad of a thing is again because of expectations. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you're going in expecting this to be anything more than Anime Girl Power Rangers, then obviously like all these like glaring flaws are going to be exactly that glaring
no,
flaws.
but like it's okay to expect competency. I think.
yes,
Eh.
I
but
think it's okay to expect the writing to not be actively
I'm gonna
brain
be
dead.
honest. My favorite part of Symphogear was
Mason,
just
when is
Class
the-
Action Hero.
Yeah,
Hey,
Dr.
Mason,
Veer is the best part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mason, when's the last time you watched Power Rangers?
Probably when I was a small child.
Yeah, so I rewatched all of Mystic Force recently,
Okay.
Why?
and
Why?
gotta say,
I-
yeah, has not held up very well.
No, but
I
the
have a
thing
Power
is
Ranger
that
story.
I don't laud Power Rangers as like this awesome thing other than
No,
when
no.
other than when the Green Ranger
Again,
fucking hits
again.
the flute
I-
solo.
Fucking,
I think
he
you're
hits
missing
hard.
my point. I think you're missing my point, which is that, wait, how do I phrase this?
Also-
My bad.
This is
I
off.
know, I'm not
No,
trying to
no,
put you in a corner, but Simple Gear is like actively terrible in a
okay.
way that is detrimental to my ability to enjoy the show.
Yeah.
It's a,
Because-
it's a critical flaw that only
Uh,
some people can overlook.
Off topic.
Yeah.
When did Hibiki get long hair? I don't remember this.
Season
at all.
5 probably. I don't know.
No. She does not have long hair. I think there's someone behind her.
Okay, I
I
need a
think.
quick statement here. And
Yes.
Vinay, I think you're on a similar boat to me on this.
Mm-hmm.
On that Power Rangers note, I think my dream job would be to be like a villain on the Power Rangers series.
Oh,
Oh,
that'd be the-
absolutely. I would love
I
to
would-
do that.
Dude,
I want to
same.
be that, or I want to be the comic relief bad guy, like in the Mighty
Yeah.
Morphin, just like the fat
Oh,
guy.
I would love to
I
be like the
completely
you know what would be the best? You're just like the reoccurring
Lord
villain who
Zed,
fails
baby.
constantly.
I'd love to be Lord Zed. But like that's like
But
a
yeah.
different thing than the villains in this. And like Lord Zed
Eh,
is a
Eh,
horny
eh.
and like
No,
it's very
no,
different. It's
no,
very
no,
different.
no,
It's very
no.
different.
Mason, it is
Green
not.
Repulse where it's at.
Mason, I can assure you it is not.
No, here's how I know it's different. Lord Zed doesn't actually go and do the fighting himself. He creates a monster. He's like, go deal with the Power Rangers. And then well, meanwhile the actual main villains of the Symphogear series are like staring down the defeated Symphogear users and will go, they're defeated. Let's head back.
Again,
No. Instead of
not
like,
We're
really.
going in circles. We're
all
going in
right.
circles.
The last thing I'll say is it's
Uh, All I'm going to say is this has the exact same vibe as Power Rangers for better or for worse.
All right.
Yeah.
Last thing
No
I'll
one deny
say.
it.
Last thing I'll say is I find it funny in that like this is the exact. Okay, I'm only gonna say this once. Fire Emblem has the exact opposite problem where like unit dies and they retreat. This one, which is even worse, they have the actual protagonists in a corner and then they retreat when they're in the superior like position, which makes no sense. But it just that.
Yeah. Next one. Let's see it. Let's see it.
Next one.
Another
Let's see
being
what's
patient
next.
and
Flip
aggressive.
flappers.
I have not seen flip
Oh,
flappers.
I have not seen
Should I-
Never
flip
seen it.
flappers. either.
So,
Should I
looks-
Destin? Oh, I'm
the
gonna
Picture
watch
looks
this. I'm
like
gonna
Hi Hi
Destin.
Puffy
Oh,
Yami
no,
Yumi
there
though,
you go.
like grown up.
This is a me and Brendan thing then, I guess.
It is.
Okay, so I think Flip Flappers is in a very similar space to Symphogear, whereas like, does it really matter?
Well, actually, I think it does because a good amount of Flip Flappers' character development actually stems from the best friend not being able to pull the trigger.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Like
Wait.
That, like,
Never
screwing
mind.
over-
Yeah, never mind. I was completely misunderstanding. Yeah.
the whole thing is like,
Yeah.
you know, I can't decide whether I actually want to stick with this friend who vexed me somehow when I was a kid, or do I want to stick with this organization that's actually taken me in. It's the
Right,
internal
right.
strife of actually trying to figure out what's right here, and it's not particularly
Yeah,
deep.
I
It's, like, it's
misunderstood.
still
Yeah.
something that actually is an interesting layer, and it explains why like they're allowed to get away with the first half of the episodes basically just being monster of the week.
I guess so. I think it's also weird just because the ending was kind of botched.
I mean, the ending
So
is
it's like-
just bad, but that's entirely different to
No, and so because of that, I kind of don't give stake to like the actual antagonists.
understandable. When
so
I mean
it's-
antagonist, I mean antagonist for the first half because you know. there's-
Yeah, the two blonde kids, right?
I was gonna say the best friend.
Oh, right. Ah,
That's what I'm talking about here. The two kids are just robots. They're doing their own thing.
I do not remember shit from the show.
Understandable. Well, if that's the case, we should just move on.
Yeah.
Number 8 time.
Fun show though. Watch it.
Recommend.
All right, what else we got?
We need you.
Tommy,
All
Tommy,
right.
no.
All right. I guess last thing I'll say is sometimes it works, but
I think there's like 2 or 3.
Sometimes it doesn't.
yes.
Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
All right. Next.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Yeah. Sure.
The comic relief
Comic
character that suddenly steps in when things. Get
Oh.
I mean, I think this is like. I guess let's see the first example.
Jar Jar
Sasha.
Binks.
Yes.
When?
Potato Girl.
Potato.
That's like super early season 1 when it's not even dark and she's just getting yelled at.
Yeah.
And she has arguably my favorite line in the whole series, where she like when they're actually going to the basement and she's like, "Wait, that was actually important." She thought it was because she's like she thought it was just like propaganda to get them to join the Survey Corps. It's fucking awesome.
It's like, wait, this
Oh,
is
she-
actually
like-
real.
I think the thing is,
No, like it's just.
Sasha's not
I-
a comic relief.
no.
She's a
No. I know Sasha isn't like this. I'm talking about the trope in general, not Sasha.
I'd
Yeah.
like to go to the next one to see.
Yeah. I think I need to see
What's
more
up?
characters to formulate.
I'm gonna malt. When has this happened? When has this happened? When has this happened? When has this happened? Are you? When has?
I don't know who's answering. I'm not answering.
I don't have anything to say about this.
One Piece
Yeah.
isn't dark. One Piece is like not. The entire cast is a comic relief character. What the fuck is this?
All right, can we see if we complete the slot machine if this is not a good
I
example?
hate you. I hate both of you.
All right, Inosuke.
Wait.
I hate
I think Zenitsu would be better because he's an attempt at comic relief, but like
Which one's Zenetsu? Is he the blonde kid?
he's the blonde
Or the
kid
gold-
that the
Like
blonde
thunder
kid. That's,
breathing?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
detrimentally horny.
Have you seen
I watched-
He is? I've watched 2
Yeah.
episodes, and that's not the vibe I got from him.
Oh
he's
no.
detrimentally horny.
So as a expert
Same.
in Demon Slayer who watched the Valentine's Day OVA and nothing else,
Even that still
um,
doesn't make sense.
I can say that Zenitsu
Tommy, can
sucks.
you mute yourself?
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't fucking know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Push to talk.
Ben said,
Yeah, well, you know what? You're
Yeah, no, it's this is like all awful examples. I think.
My
pretty well, to be honest.
my example is
it's
Jar Jar
like-
Binks.
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah,
Because he was
Jar
actually a
Jar-
Sith Lord, but they didn't want to go that way because they were cowards because of movie
Dude,
ticket
they,
sales.
they should have. They should have. It would have been so sick.
FMA when they're making like dead baby jokes is like a better example.
yeah,
Wait, when
I
do
mean,
they get?
yeah, no, I honestly think like
That like the thing where it's like, oh, there's like woobly arms. It's like there's times for not. I'm trying to think of like good examples of like
It's
It's tough
kind
with
of
anime,
hard.
I think.
One Piece. The reason why Usopp, it's like he's not the comic relief character. There's not really a comic. If anything, Chopper would be more of a.
Ben said,
What?
Tommy, you could just put yourself on push to talk.
Yeah,
and
just
that
push
was-
to talk.
I thought I was muted, but okay, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Usopp isn't a comic relief character. He's just like the normal guy of the group, and yes, he's more scared than others. And the thing is that One Piece never gets to the point of being so dark that his presence is like uncalled for. And the thing is that when he's serious, it's when it's serious involving him, it's some of the best stuff in the series. So like I don't understand where that's coming from. And same with Sasha. Like and Inosuke is just not a character. He's a flanderized like I yell a lot. Look how tough I am. You know?
Yeah,
It's more when Zenitsu's like crying when like he's trying to defend a child, like in a fight. But he's like crying and whimpering and all that stuff. And it's like that. It's like, what are we doing here?
yeah.
Is a better
I'm trying-
example.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm trying
honestly,
to think
with,
of
like-
more examples, but it's
I mean,
hard.
I can see what they. Yeah, I'm not muted, or like I'm not like muted, right?
Mm-mm.
We can hear you.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yeah, no, I can see what they kind of mean with Inosuke because sometimes he has the like, oh, I'm like I'm too like he does something kind of stupid or he just like mispronounced Tenryu's name or whatever, but it's like, he's not necessarily like what I would call a comic relief character. None of these characters like strike me as like, oh, I'm that guy who comes in and makes a certain joke when things get really dark. Like
Because they're not.
They're just
Because none of them are. Yeah, no, like
I got an example.
let's hear it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So this will be a weird example because it's similar to One Piece where everyone's a comic relief sometimes. But if you've played or watched any of the Danganronpa games, there's always 2 or 3 characters always like riffing back and forth during trials and stuff, being the funny person. And if they happen to die, you find that someone kind of like takes their place as like the next funny person. So like you're going through these topics and there's like you're trying to figure out what the big puzzle, like why did someone do this to accomplish X? And then all of a sudden you hear someone say something ridiculous in the background and you're like, wait, why did you just say that? So like it kind of takes you out of that weird dark area or weird like
Alright.
deep thought trying to figure out a puzzle that may or may not make sense to me.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
that's a good
that
one.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
trying
like
to
towards the end, like in the 3rd game specifically with the cosplayer girl. She wasn't really the funny person; she was the boring person. And then when all the funny people were dead, it was her and Himiko, the ultimate mage, who were like doing the back and forth for funny when everyone else was freaking out.
I'm trying to think of like a better example. Like Demon Slayer does
okay.
do this with like Zenitsu's entire character.
I think you can do what's his face? Mineta from My Hero.
Yep, he's terrible too.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah,
It's
well,
always
it's-
the detrimentally horny ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
It's
I
always
feel
the corny ones.
here's the thing. I think
Same.
I honestly rather have like a smart ass comic relief character than like a really poorly done horny one because it just gets really awkward.
But yeah, I'm
really
trying to
fast.
think. It's like I'm trying to think. Like the thing that Usopp is like specifically bothering me with is just like when you're like again, it's just like are you paying attention to the writing or are you just like this one thing stood out to me and I haven't actually paid attention.
He
Like
has
therefore it's a trope.
honestly
You
like
know?
the first thought that comes to mind when I think Usopp's comic relief character is like, oh, he is a long nose, therefore he is comic relief guy because he also uses. I just
His
like,
name means liar.
Yeah,
Uso is
like-
liar. It's just like that's like part of the character thing. It's not comic
Yeah,
relief
he's a
necessarily.
liar. Like he
I hate
literally-
this trope. Like when that does happen, I think comic relief is usually really bad and like
Mhm.
it's very rarely done well. I think like as
Marvel
much of an
has this
atrocity.
issue. Marvel movies have this issue.
Well, that's
Yeah.
where I'm going here. Is not Marvel but Disney with the new Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as much of an atrocity as they were, when you have that scene where Kylo Ren's freaking out and just breaking shit in the whatever they're at, like where he's in the hitting like computers and shit with his lightsaber. It's supposed to be this scary, unstable time, and then you see two stormtroopers walk by and then like walk away, and it's supposed to be a haha funny moment, and it's like, no, let me just have my unstable character that isn't being bogged down by anything.
I honestly think that's like a result of like Marvel movies doing so well because they're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, all our movies now have to have like an interspersed thing of like quips and serious moments, and it'll be great.
But it
sucks.
works when Robert Downey Jr. like is actually charismatic. You
Hey,
know?
also, you're
Yeah.
telling me that Kylo Ren acted in another movie where he has a like breakdown and then he starts
Mhm.
breaking stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking
No,
of the
but
what
except,
was-
but
where
except,
the
but
same
except in
actor
the
is,
other,
crying and then punches a hole in the wall.
yeah, but except in that one, it's actually good.
I blame
Yeah.
the writers for Star
I didn't see that
Wars
one. Which one was
for
that?
both the
I don't remember what it's actually
Uh,
from, but it's that one
it-
meme that, like,
My
I know,
favorite,
but
my favorite Adam Driver movie is Logan Lucky. If you haven't seen it, highly
Yeah.
recommend. Wicked
Adam
funny.
Driver's a very good actor.
Yeah, he's
It- it-
amazing.
He's just stuck in shitty ass Star Wars. But anyways,
guy.
let's go to the
Alright,
Poor
let's go
guy
to
with
the
his
next one.
millions.
one.
Y'all had awful
Flashback.
examples. Whoever
Oh,
submitted them.
it's smart. It's him.
Oh, that. Oh, wait, this was me.
Oh, this
It's
guy with the gun.
Marcelo. It's
This is-
Marcelo Pistola.
This is something. This is something I said. So
Look,
here's the
go.
thing.
Ugh,
Here's the
I
thing.
hate this.
Here's the thing. A flashback timed specifically before a villain or a side character dies. That's just so you can try to have the viewer or reader feel something. Is, I think, insulting as a trope because it means you didn't do the groundwork before to get us to care beforehand.
Uh,
There's nothing like it's like you didn't. This isn't earned.
It has to be
And-
built upon. Like they had to have the same flashback before, and now
Yes.
they're just like, now I've really fucked up.
It's not their life flash. You can't have your life flashing before your eyes and get us to feel all nice, like feel all sad, because a side character that you spent no time on because you'd rather fuck off and make a billion useless characters. Jujutsu Kaisen has me very angry. The current manga because it was good, and then actively like the past 20 chapters, it's been very bad. Like Little Witch Swing, like it was like 10 out of 10, and now it's like a 2 out of 10.
I see.
And I'm like the only person who thinks that because like I'm okay with that, but it's just like it's really bad.
Let's
Where
see.
they are being like, wait, I didn't actually lay the groundwork for this to be
shit.
impactful. Yeah, the Comic Kill I have not seen.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Let me
love
talk
I
about
love a
this.
Gauntlet Make a Kill.
Let me
So
talk
I've
about
read
this.
part of it. I've read part of it. I don't remember shit. All I remember is that I was like, wow, that's a lot of people dying.
All right.
Huh, cool.
So I'd like to.
It's a lot of flashbacks.
I'd like to say that literally, like, I feel like the first death was actually done decently well, and then I think every other subsequent death, it just felt like, oh, I saw this coming. This makes it feel kind of just like.
What do you define by first death? Do you mean Scissor Girl?
Scissor Girl. I mean, honestly, even then it was
Do you
kind of like.
Girl.
Because Scissor Girl was not done well. You could tell it's like,
Okay,
oh
I
wait,
mean
she's done like
relative.
5 times more screen time for
I
some
guess
reason.
done
And
well.
she had an
is-
embrace moment with
Alright.
MC the night before. Oh, I wonder if something bad's gonna happen to her.
Alright.
Something
hate to
bad
see
happens
it.
to her.
All right, I guess
Yeah,
done well
hate this
is
so much.
relative because it wasn't actually good, which I guess
'Cause-
kind of is not what I said. But
Like a flashback right before a character dies, and it's like a quick little thing where it's like all the good times they had. That can be really impactful.
So
It's
Yeah.
just like when I get the backstory right beforehand, it's like, am I supposed to feel bad?
Flashbacks can actually add to scenes as long as they aren't doing work that wasn't that was supposed to be done beforehand.
So,
If the
what I
flashback
think
just feels
is
like it's serving the
like-
same purpose as a bad monologue before a fight, it's the
I-
same deal.
I feel like a flashback after a major death hits a lot more than right
Have a
before.
flashback be a flashback. Don't have it be an info dump that you realize you had to
Yeah.
staple in the last
Yeah.
minute.
What I like more, or my favorite rendition of this, right, is where the flashback happens as someone's dying, and it's not so much like a full multi-chapter like flashback as it is just like a few panels where they're really like, oh shit, this is where things went wrong.
Yeah,
Like-
no, yeah.
Oh, like
I-
Death Note-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
like sort of like Death Note. The
No.
exact example I have in mind is for a manga I want Mason to read, so I'm not going to spoil the title of.
Okay.
Can I also just say
So-
that in isolation, I think manga tends to be a better platform for flashbacks than anime.
Yeah,
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 because
it
you
does.
just like
it does.
read through them at your own leisure. I hate anime flashbacks because I don't want to have to wait a week just to find out that I have 2 more episodes of flashbacks before something cool happens.
The
Because I
thing
know
is,
the character's gonna die or
the
win.
thing is, like, manga flashbacks are still better and fine, and like having like little backstory stuff is fine and good.
Mhm.
But I
Mhm.
think what gets it's all about, again, it's execution and delivery. It's just like, is this delivering something that we need to know, and is it delivering it in a fun, good way, or
Mhm.
is this, I didn't do the work I needed to beforehand, and now I'm screwed, and now people are going to get mad at me if I don't do this. But
like-
even then, it fails because like
No,
some.
so yeah, no, go on. I'll continue after.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
yeah.
I was gonna
So,
say
yeah.
something, but I'll do it after you, Vinny.
Yeah, no. So what I was going to add on is that even if it is something that the person needs to know, right? Is it the time and place?
Exactly.
Right? Like, I think the biggest example of this is currently the My Hero Academia manga. If any
Yep.
of you are reading this, mute,
Mhm.
or like reading and have to catch
Yeah.
up.
I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Tommy, do you
so-
care?
Tommy, do you care? Is Tommy
I
here?
think he's muted.
He's
I think
muted.
I think he's muted.
It's probably
Okay,
because of Vincent, though.
might be. Regardless, it's like, so there's this the arc before the current one. The one
the
where they're
most
fighting.
important shit ever. The most important shit ever.
Yeah, no. So where they're fighting. What's their face? The Liberation Army.
Shiggy.
Yeah. Shiggy's backstory. They drop it in the middle of this intense, heated combat where like the League of Villains is actually getting their ass handed to them, right? And they just drop this like 4-chapter long backstory about Shigaraki's trauma, and they're like, "Oh, he brought this upon himself. His powers were actually sealed away because he's so good at killing." And then, oh no, he awakens and destroys like an entire city because I guess. Why would-
Shigaraki is actively terrible, guys.
And no, and it's like that is still something important, right? Like that is a part of his backstory that needs to be explored at some point because the manga is very clear about making him the main villain. It's just that why would you do that in the middle of this intense fight where it has no relation to anything else that's going on? And they
Right.
actually do this for every single one of the villains in that fight who just gets like an absurd power up. And it's
Yeah.
just like this isn't the time. And it also feels out of place because of power scaling, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, it's an entirely different thing. Yeah, let's see what the next
So-
one is. Too. Oh yeah,
Oh, I
Chris, go
already
ahead.
saw
Chris,
I
go
was
ahead.
gonna
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite version of this trope is sometimes with like an unreliable narrator, where you have the flashback and or moment before death that leads to like a delusion before they actually die. Like my favorite example for that would be a battle royale with the girl in the well who wanted to be join the main character's group.
Yeah. I
And
know
she's
the one
like,
you're
she has a flashback about some of the bad things she did and about how nice the main character's group is, and then they come to save her, and they get her out of the well just to find out
Mhm.
she was trapped in the well and she couldn't actually get out. No one came to save her.
Yeah,
And the other one I
yeah.
can think of is Hunter x Hunter during the most
Mhm,
recent arc. And Mason, I think we talked about how fucking sad the two sisters' stories were. Or
Yep.
one, their power was to like teleport to the other, or one's power was to teleport to
Yep.
the other, and the other one's power was to take one of them to take the other's place in case one dies. And we
Yep.
find out she's the dead one, and
Yep.
she actually died during the escape.
Yep.
And that was like, that's my favorite way this happens: fake flashback or real flashback with real hopes, and then dash.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's- yeah.
I
we
think
should
that's a
tell
really
them
cool
to-
version of this trope.
We should tell them to unmute.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah,
Y'all coming
Yeah.
back? Yeah.
Mute, Tommy.
We need to see the next one. We need to see the next two examples because we might have already covered them.
No, you didn't.
Oh, by the way, we were not talking about Omega Kill that entire time.
Oh no, not in the slightest.
We were talking about like other stuff we care way more about that like should be quality otherwise.
Omega Kill has
Yeah.
10 minutes of talking content.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's see what the
Yeah.
next one is.
Tommy, you there?
Tommy.
Thomas, contingency man.
Contingency man.
Contingency man.
Contingency man, that is me. Okay.
He's here.
All
He's
right,
here.
all right.
Planning in case Tommy doesn't come back.
All right,
I'm back. I'm sorry. I didn't want. I'm an
Yeah,
anime only. My
TPN.
hero guy.
TPN doesn't. I'm trying to remember because it's been a minute since I've seen season one. Is that season one?
The maid who shows up.
Oh,
think it's the big one.
This happens
Yeah,
to
yeah.
multiple. This happens to multiple characters in season one.
Sister Crone.
I don't remember anything about TPN.
And then
so-
the adult whose name I don't remember. It's like Eugene or something.
Oh, I know
One,
exactly. Yeah. Like who
yeah.
cares? Who cares?
gives a
I'm
shit?
supposed to care now. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm talking
It's
about.
like-
It's just like I don't care.
I'm suddenly
It's like
supposed.
they develop their characters perfectly fine, and then their moment of reckoning comes, and then they like so all of a sudden throw in a flashback right beforehand. It's like, do we need this?
It's like,
No.
oh, she
Is
was.
this it?
It's like, oh, she was a child once too, or like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, but like Jujutsu Kaisen did that, and I don't think I get more frustrated reading something because like the character was built up perfectly fine, and it actually would have been way more impactful if there wasn't multi-chapter worths of backstory. Like,
I feel
No,
so
like-
sad every time you bring up Jujutsu Kaisen because I'm so hype on the anime and
dude,
I
I
don't want that
was,
train to die on
dude,
me.
dude, no, like I was literally reading it. I was because of the anime. I started reading it, and then I was like hype all the way. And I was like, oh no, you're ruining it. And I keep reading because I was like, surely it doesn't get worse. And then each chapter, I'm just like, oh my god.
Besto friendo.
Yes, that made just like I miss those halcyon days of besto friend.
best of friend. All right.
Best of.
I'd be best friends with him.
All right.
I would.
What's the third one?
That's the third one.
Hunter
What's
X
the third
Hunter.
Oh yeah, Hunter
Ooh.
Hunter does this bad.
Yeah, it does do this.
Remember
Hey,
the
Brandon.
flashback to the scissor guy?
Wait, whose death are we talking about in particular here?
Most.
I mean, you can say any of them to be honest, but the principle of it, I guess the grand question is there any flashback before death that Hunter x Hunter actually does right?
No,
I can't think of many.
unfortunately.
no, remember the one with scissor guy, and remember the one
To
with
be fair, his
Oh,
isn't
that one, yeah.
his isn't a death, but he's definitely one of the worst flashbacks I've ever seen.
remember
so bad.
remember the
I
cap.
love the
Remember
conversation
the
always comes
communist
back
guy.
to Scissor Guy.
Remember the communist guy? I forget his
The
name.
who?
The commie. The North Korea leader man, who was like
Oh.
the actual person behind the scenes, and then he just died, and we never saw him again.
Oh yeah, it's like he's on like a
Oh,
farm
yeah,
or
yeah.
something. It's like, what does this show?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
also, I'm pretty sure that just because the main writer didn't want to do anything and he just forgot completely and didn't care. He gets his paychecks all the same.
I mean,
Awesome.
honestly, I get a paycheck. That sounds. That would be cool.
All right, let's go to the next one though. We spent a long
Yeah.
time on this.
Next
Yeah.
one.
We spent a lot of time on a Game got kill
Okay.
in the
Tsundere,
in the naked prince scene.
let alone most dares. Let's
Let's see the
Okay.
first example because
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
Hey,
Rin
listen,
from
I
Fate,
this
like
is-
Rin.
No,
Apologies.
wait. No. We need to see all three first.
Oh yeah, let's
We
do
need to see all
that.
three.
Preemptive apologies.
Rin,
There's technical-
Asuka.
Okay.
Taiga.
Okay, Taiga, I'm
Okay.
gonna fight whoever submitted that because like
Okay,
there's
no,
actual
no,
like,
no, wait,
reason.
wait.
Grand reminder that just because it's
Mason.
shown here doesn't mean it's inherently a bad example. It's just
Exactly,
a talking
okay.
point.
Yeah.
So thinking about all three. So I
Here's the
think
thing,
We
let me
would
the
not have gotten
Let me
in
start
Dairy,
with this.
Dairy Simulator without this.
There is a vocal camp
True.
that says that Asuka isn't a conventional tsundere and doesn't really count.
I mean, honestly.
no. So what I was gonna say is that I'm actually very slightly for it because it gives character archetypes to work off of, right? Like
yeah,
if you read something or watch something and it has like a bad tsundere, right? Them being a tsundere doesn't change the fact that they were likely going to be a bad character in the first place.
no,
I,
exactly.
mean, I have no.
because-
And-
The existence of tsundere is fine. Just make a good one. Like
Yeah.
Rin,
So
Rin being a tsundere in Unlimited Blade Works is god awful because it ruins her character.
Because it's a fake
I
show.
didn't really care for it.
I did because it
Because
completely
Fate-
counteracts her entire character. Where it's like,
Yeah.
I'll do anything that I need to win, but she's very sympathetic to red-haired dude for 8 different episodes when
Yeah.
could have killed him like 5 different times, and he's an outward liability to you.
I mean,
and then like
yeah.
I mean,
Asuka
like-
just does Baka a lot.
No, Asuka and Taiga are good characters with good writing, so that's like whatever.
Yeah,
mean, I
Taiga,
thought-
Taiga's
yeah.
like a tsundere because she's horrified of rejection, so she pushes people away by being like hyper, like not saying what she means and like aggro. Like that's just good writing.
And combine that with a little bit of Napoleon disorder.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like
So-
good writing.
What kind of character is Taiga? Is she a tsundere? Or is she
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
because this is
100%.
let alone most dares, and I'm obsessed when it comes to having psychotic characters like yanderes and yanderes in
Mhm.
media. I fucking love that trope because of how you don't have to make insane people make sense. And they don't have to play by traditional rules. But they always play by the rules because how many times can you write a crazy
Yeah.
person?
Yeah, no. So
Yeah.
it again, like the Darius are a good like building block for a character, but that's all they are at the end
Yeah.
of the day.
It's
It's
all
like
writing.
it's like you get a shell, you still have to fill it with something.
I feel like that's.
Oh, and talk about sorry, I was gonna say talk about someone having a fucking flashback before they die. Asuka and End of Evangelion before she takes a spear to the eye. That's
Okay,
kind of a stretch. That whole thing.
I
I
mean,
mean,
Spoilers
no,
for a 20-year-old cartoon.
we already spoiled the hell out of it. It doesn't really matter.
Well, we need the warnings for it.
Asuka go.
I
Asuka.
spoiled it.
The thing is, that whole flashback was like, it's not a flashback that's necessarily like, oh snap, this character is dying. We need to like close
Yeah,
out the story.
no.
It's
Yeah.
a matter of like, oh no, wait a minute, she's actually like breaking through this internal struggles he's had for 12 episodes now, and then it punches you in the gut with the death afterwards.
Oh, it was so
Yeah.
brutal and so cool. That scream lives in my head rent free.
It's like, woo,
Yeah.
she's finding purpose now. Like she's beating
Yeah.
the shit out of them,
It's
and then
not
she gets
really
stabbed.
the same thing as like this character just died. It's like, oh wait, shit, like quick, fill in all the backstory.
I mean,
God, it is such a gut drop when all the robots that she just took out just like resurrect themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh no.
I mean, honestly, I feel like in general, I kind of agree with the idea that like you have the trope and you build off of it there. As someone who like some limited played works but all of those flaws, like it kind of does fail to do. Like it feels like it counteracts her character. She could have, won. The other two, I think, do it a lot better. Like Taiga is probably like my favorite character out of these three. Like
Yeah,
pretty
but
easily.
because
My
Taiga-
comment is Rin being a tsundere is fine as long as her being a tsundere doesn't completely counteract the entire mantra that she was born and raised on.
Yeah.
right, and
No,
in
no,
Tiger's case, her being a tsundere is a product of her circumstance.
Yeah, no, I know what
Right.
you're, because like I can understand why she would be like that. Rin, it's like the opposite, where it's like I feel like she could have been written differently and used a different trope if they had to use one.
It's a
Honestly,
question because I don't
like
know.
no, like honestly, it's going to sound really stupid, but I think the easiest way to fix Rin's whole character crisis is to just make it obvious that she just found Emiya hot, and that kind of like completely dismantles like a sort of really strict conservative upbringing, so she has no clue what to do.
Actually, that would have.
I mean, I know there's people who are going to be like, oh, it's funny because she had this strict upbringing, her being a tsundere makes sense because she doesn't want to have feelings for someone she has to kill. It's like,
No, like I
you
think
can't
if you
have her
make
be
that,
so dedicated to the games and also
I
do
mean,
this at the
so-
same time.
I think if
Actually-
you make that really outwardly obvious and play it off like very slightly for comedy, it would be fine.
I mean,
but they don't.
I feel like her upbringing also was kind of spoilers for Fate, but like both her parents died.
I don't care about those. She should be a hard ass that doesn't go baka. If
Yeah,
that's the case.
no, it's like I mean maybe some different things happen there, but it's like
Hard ass Rin would be fun.
I only
Yeah.
watched Fate Zero. What's her class that she gets? Is she an archer?
She gets Archer, and her Archer is Emiya from the future that goes back and it's really weird.
Who's Emiya?
So it's bad.
The main,
Yeah,
the,
Shiro.
main
telling me.
the main character.
Yeah, Shiro,
Weird.
Emiya. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Because I only watched Fate Zero, so I know like the basic ones.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's the son of the main character from Fate Zero.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know the
Adopted
machine
son.
gun dude from Zero? Yeah, it's his son. That dude.
All
Yeah.
right.
Very
The
cool.
problem with Fate Zero is four of the main characters looked exactly the same, and I didn't know what any of their names were.
Fairy syndrome.
All right,
Thank you, Nasu. Very cool.
All right.
I think we're good on
Yeah,
this.
I
We can
think
move
we're
on
good
to
on
the
this too.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Shows with
What do we
shows with an inability to kill off main characters. So I think
Screen has-
They're called the main character for a reason.
I mean
Yeah.
I feel like you
They're
can
called-
kill off a main character, but okay, I'm gonna bring up an example of how not to kill off a main character. Kill a Kill. They kill off the main character. And
Do they?
Yes.
No, they
do.
don't.
Yes, they do.
Wait,
No, they don't.
Are you talking about Senketsu?
No. I am. Oh my
In the
god!
literal
I
last
misspoke.
episode?
I meant a comic a kill, not kill a kill.
Oh,
Same
I was
thing.
like, yeah. When did anyone kill a kill? I was
Yeah,
really
no,
confused.
Tommy, in a Gomega kill, nobody goes to space.
No, it's like they kill off.
That's the problem.
Yes,
That's the problem with the series.
Yeah,
they kill off generic anime man, and
like
it just feels hollow. But like I feel like there are certain cases like a show's not going to be the same if you just kill off the main character.
no, but here's the thing, right? Killing off a main character. What do you define as a main character? Because
So-
Naruto killing Jiraiya, like the death of Jiraiya, was like an absolute gut punch, right?
Yeah, we didn't see that coming.
Yeah. What about
Yeah,
Kam-
exactly.
What about
Mainly because I was
Kamino's
12.
Kamino is a gut punch. It's
Yeah.
like, but the thing is, it's like it's
No,
pretty
so-
established that like Simon's
Simon,
main
yeah.
character and that
Yeah.
I-
you know.
I mean, is
So
it a
I think the
main
thing is,
character
like-
or secondary main.
No, so narratively, the thing is, it's very, very, very hard to like, let alone kill, like switch a main character. because in your very first episodes, which are the first things people watch, right? You establish your character, you establish their motivations, you establish what they're doing, and it doesn't exactly have the same impact when you're already like some X number of episodes into a show, the plot's going along, and if you kill off the main character to reintroduce someone else as the new main character involves like more time spent,
Or-
establishing their motivations. What are they doing here? Why are they doing this?
or
Even if you replace the main character with like a side one, you still have to spend that time building them up to main character status.
Right, and imagine in One Piece, right? Imagine like they killed off a couple Straw Hats every like 100 chapters or so. Like eventually that it wouldn't make sense, you know? Like,
No,
I just
like-
don't think that'd work.
Yeah.
So I think
It'd
even
become
one,
predictable at that point. It's like
Yeah.
when's this character gonna die? I don't like him. I want fucking Usopp to be the main character. When's Nami
Like-
gonna die?
a main character dying is generally reserved for like the climax of an arc or like the ending of a show for a reason, because it's a powerful character moment. It's just very hard to do like properly. Like if you look at any of the generic sad shows, right, that people throw around, like Your Lie in April, Clannad, Plastic Memories, they all involve like someone dying towards the end. Like it's pretty, yeah. And it's just like
Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop isn't thrown out as like a generic sad show.
No, but it's not generic sad show, but like the main character dies. Like, it's the most
Fucking
impactful moment of the
spoilers.
series.
It's pretty
Yeah,
ambiguous if he
wow.
dies at the end or not.
No, Tommy,
Yeah.
Tommy, if you think that's ambiguous,
Yeah, it's ambiguous.
come on. It's not
It's-
ambiguous.
It's no.
It's
There's
really
a small
not.
chance
I
he
can't
It's
get
lived.
really not.
There's a small
I
chance
can't
he
put it
lived.
in my,
lived.
I can't put in my
But,
notes
like-
here because I never watched it.
It's
I'm
really
still
fucking
working on
Yeah,
that one.
no, but like in any case, right? It's like main characters dying is a big event because again, they are the main character. If you want an ensemble cast and have people die in that, that's different
Right.
because then you have a main set of characters and those are interchangeable because you're not building every one like as high as like One Piece builds up Luffy, or I keep
Yeah.
pronouncing it differently every time.
It's
But yeah.
Luffy, just so you know.
Luffy,
Luffy.
yeah, Luffy.
Luffy.
So I think with this
Luffy.
trope that if you're going to switch off, if you're going to kill someone, the switch needs to be a hot swap. And what I mean that
Yes.
it needs to be seamless and it needs to make sense. And the two shows I can think
Mhm.
of that do this perfectly. The first one is Gantz. I read the manga. Gantz, although it's like an insane like psychopath story in the
Mhm.
sense that like nothing makes sense. The main character
True.
dies, and you have the ability to revive people, but it's super costly and it's not something that's explored till much later in the series. With characters
Mhm.
trying to do it and then realizing they need to spend their points elsewhere.
Mhm.
So that's like one thing where they bring the main character back, and like that's a cool way because they needed strong main characters, and
Mhm.
the strong main characters together are awesome. In fact, they even like use their powers to revive him because he was technically dead while the original was still alive. It gets real convoluted. So they have like clones, and there's like this weird. Well, I'm not him because he's alive. What am I? I'm just a clone. I need to find my own life. But the other one, I think that does this really well is Madoka, because people do die in Madoka. But the whole timeline thing. This is where I'm saying the ability to kill off main characters is the hot swap takes place after Madoka. Like the story goes from Madoka to Homura when Madoka keeps giving up,
Yeah.
and Homura just wants to like slap her. And it's like characters die, but they don't die because one character is insane enough to want to continue it. Much like Steins Gate, it's like the characters have to live on, and they're going to by my until I go insane trying or until I die trying, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. No, see,
It's like
that's different
Literally an
because
ability to kill them off.
that's different because there's that explicit like want to stop it from happening, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a driving force for a character. There are shitty versions of that, mind you. Charlotte has anyone else here seen Charlotte? Charlotte?
No.
Okay, so spoilers for a show that none of you all are going to watch because it's terrible. But
Sold.
the
Great sale.
yeah, so the first few episodes are about, so they establish that there's these kids with like minor powers, right? Like one dude can teleport, but he's actually just running really fucking fast between the two places and shit like that. And so like your main character, his power is broken as shit and he can steal other people's by taking control of their body for 5 seconds. So the first few episodes are like, haha, funny, here's school life stuff. And then in episode 4, his sister awakens and dies. because her power turns buildings to rubble and she's inside of it. So the entire rest of the show just suddenly becomes this really weird pacing mess of like the brother somehow getting time travel powers and like going back in time and trying to stop it from happening, but that also makes him fight a secret organization and steal everyone in the world's power and go blind. I don't get it. So
That's
it's like,
awesome.
no, it's a terrible show. But it's like you see stuff like that, right? And you're like, okay, yeah, I can see why shows don't want to kill off a main character as much, though Charlotte is written by Jun Maeda, which probably explains why it's terrible, but that's a whole other thing.
You know, like the death of like there's some times where the death of the main character should happen, right?
Like in My Hero Academia, the main
Yes.
character should die because he's obnoxious.
in fucking what's it called? Domekano. He should
Man,
have fucking died.
I feel like every
fucking died.
you
Should
need a
have died.
checklist of shows that are gonna inevitably get brought up. It's Domekano, it's Demon Slayer, it's Simple Gear, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
People need to
imagine-
stop
So
writing
on the
about.
topic of this
Can you
trope. It
imagine
just makes me
Demon
think
Slayer?
back. This
Imagine
was
Demon
just
Slayer if the main character died the first episode.
Can you believe that Voodoo doesn't have
Tommy. Remember how we were talking about an idol show where episode 2, one of the girls just gets like hit by a car and dies,
Yeah.
and the rest of the show is just them trying to cope.
Yes.
Isn't that Zombieland Saga?
Well,
Yeah.
no, if in Zombieland Saga they're all dead, but they all reviving it.
Oh,
for
okay,
their own
okay.
truth. I'm talking
Okay,
like a literal, completely grounded, normal ass idol show where
Dude,
episode 1 it's all fine. Episode 2, someone just gets railed by an 18-wheeler. And
Yeah.
then after the funeral, they're like, "How do we recover?"
I
I've
mean,
actually read a manga that has a vaguely similar premise, and I'm going to spoil it.
No,
it's
here's the thing. I'm talking like something that's completely subversive to the point where it's like it exactly like it tries to take a 12-episode one-course season
oh
and
wait,
just completely
wait.
makes them all be grieving and miserable for the
I
other
know
rest of the 10
exactly.
episodes
Yes, I know
on the
exactly
same
what you're
path as a
talking
normal
about.
idol show.
Where we were talking about the idea where it's like, oh, they have like a subverted idol thing where they fight to the death or some shit, and it's like,
Okay,
If
okay,
it
no,
turns
so-
into a battle royale at the end, that's fine. But like,
no,
the first half needs to be the way it needs to be.
really wished AKB 0048 was that, because they're like, idols are an oppressed minority and we're freedom fighters. And I'm like, this is going to be sick. It was not.
it sounds
So
cool
sad.
in concept, but
The idols were gamers all along.
no.
With the glass
No,
ceiling now broken,
no, like
most oppressed people
legitimately,
can now
the
prosper.
first episode started with an exposition dump. Like, idols are banned, entertainment is banned. You have this group going around as freedom fighters. I'm like, this is the funniest shit I've ever heard. And then
Wait,
it's
so
just
it's, wait, it's Shimonetta for idols? Ew.
Yes.
All right.
Next.
Yeah. No. Hey, guess what? Main characters are main characters for a reason. That's our.
Yeah.
That's our take.
All right.
turns out.
When they die, they cease to be a main character. Next. Well, actually, that's a lie. But next.
That is the end one.
Mhm.
Oh, that.
Oh.
wow.
We did it.
Oh wow.
That's it.
Wow, we did it.
We hit 2 hours.
Yeah.
Huh. We did it.
Yeah. No,
We also
it.
did start a
thanks-
lot
thanks-
earlier than usual.
Thanks for
True.
coming out.
We started
Uh-huh.
a lot earlier for having technical issues and starting a lot later.
No, it
Yeah.
only started 15 minutes later though.
Yeah.
Only.
Thanks for coming out, everyone.
Yeah.
If you
Thanks.
think, hey,
obnoxious.
guess what? If you think Connie is just a stupid guy, like, come
What?
on, man.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Come on.
I don't know what to say to you. You're just kind
Yeah,
of
yeah. You think,
The- The real hot takes were in the examples people gave.
yeah. That's where the hot takes lie.
I did
The
not
tropes
understand
themselves,
half of these.
I did not understand the comedy trope. That one I'm still thinking about.
I straight up did not understand that.
I'm
The real
just
hot
like,
takes were the friends we made along the way.
True.
Exactly.
True.
exactly.
Power of friendship.
I,
Nakama.
Mhm.
When
The
is
common powers.
when is the video games hot take podcast?
Good.
Right after this one, get ready.
Jimmy
Right,
is
right.
Yeah.
Jimmy asked to be part of that one, so
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
pop him
yeah.
in for that.
I want to hear Jimmy talk about Shadow the Hedgehog so bad.
I
I
feel
want to
like
hear Jimmy just rail on Pokemon.
I feel
It'd be
like-
so
Can't-
funny.
I feel
Oh,
like
can't
yeah.
I can't wait for Vinay to drive halfway across the country just to shank me or something. Just when I complain about Wind Waker.
I can't wait. I can't
No,
wait
no,
for me
see,
to.
see,
I can't.
I'm not that passionate about Wind Waker.
I-
I think it's a good game,
and before
but it's like
that,
I don't care if people trash on
Listen,
it.
who's going to be the one that tells me that like Devil May Cry is actually bad? That's what I
Devil
want to
May
hear.
Cry sucks because I've
What-
never
Wow.
played it.
what if people
Wow.
just what if half of the submissions are just like Fire Emblem sucks because my username is a Fire Emblem class?
Oh,
I
I'm
mean-
going to I'm going to spam Fire
It
Emblem
wouldn't be
sucks.
It wouldn't be a hot
Yeah.
take at all. It'd be a cold take. 'Cause it
No, I
does.
can't. Yeah, that's the thing. That's just the reality. They're tricked. The Coomers are tricked, Tommy. You see, and you had a Mithra profile picture for like a cool 8 hours.
Yeah, no, that was.
We all
I had
saw.
it.
We all saw.
I had it
We
for
all
2
saw.
days, and then I was like, okay.
You were like, wow, I must be a coomer now.
Crazy.
No, yeah, I was kind of like, yeah, this ain't it, and then I just switched to like fucking Hijikata from
Sephiroth.
Gintama.
So
No,
I
wait,
was
it was
Sasuke for
Sephiroth
like 2
then.
years. I've been Luffy for like 2 years.
Seth-
I like stability.
Oh yeah, it was Sephiroth.
I was
I mean,
I was a
like,
dude with Salami for a while. Then I was Pichu, and now I'm just Bikini.
I mean, it was just.
I got a question for you guys.
All right, I
Mhm.
guess.
This is Chris's mini anime hot take thing.
Ooh.
What? I want everyone before you log off or get off the call because I'm not joining another phone call. I've been canceled.
Mhm.
I need you guys to tell me your favorite video game that you've played with the worst plot. So it has to have an awful plot, but it still has to have a place in your heart.
Ooh, that's.
I think I gotta say, it's not really that the plot's terrible. It's just that it's really stupid, right? And it's Devil May Cry. Like the entirety of it's stupid, but it knows it's stupid.
No, Dante, this
Mhm.
isn't a party. I'm trying to kill you.
No, like that's like
Okay,
an
okay.
actual line. Like he goes up top. He's just like, "There's hardly any babes at this part." He's like, "Oh," and Virgil just goes, "Thanks for coming to the bash." And Dante's just like, "There's no food, there's no drink, and the one babe just left." He's like, "I'm
Worst-
sorry, I didn't prepare better."
Worst story would either go to Modern Warfare 3 or Bioshock Infinite.
Which
I'm
one was
not getting
Modern
its story so
Was that
bad,
the one
but they
with,
Modern Warfare 3 was the one where they had the gas attack on Paris.
Oh,
I don't think I played that one. I think I played MW2.
Modern Warfare 2
so,
was the young Russian one.
I'll go after Vinay. What do you got to say for this?
okay, so this is going to be really stupid, and because it is, my favorite video game that has the worst plot that I've played is Strawberry Shortcake Summertime Adventure for the Game Boy Advance.
Ow.
Um,
Ow.
I played that game for like 6 months straight
I'll
because
tell
my
you that
parents.
way right.
No, because my parents did not buy me any other games. My sister used our 1 game per year allowance for that, and I was just like, "Fuck, dude, I'm getting the most out of it."
I'm changing my answer. It's not Devil May Cry. My favorite fighting game series is Guilty Gear. It has the single most batshit insane story that I think has ever existed, to the point where like they're in on the joke now at how fucking stupid it is.
I see.
I can
Yeah,
respect
no.
that.
All right.
So yeah, that's mine. I can't honestly remember the plot of Strawberry Shortcake Summertime Adventure. However, it was very bad, and I only played the game because it was a platformer, and I was like, "Ooh, platformer! The only game I have is Pokemon. This will be great."
All right. So, I guess the game that comes to mind, which has quite possibly the worst plot I have ever seen, is Fire Emblem Conquest, because the gameplay is good, but everything else is terrible.
Is that the?
That's
Is
the
that
Boomer
the-
one.
That's the one.
No,
Which
with-
one's
no,
that one?
that's oh yeah, Fate's Conquest, right?
Yeah, Fate's Conquest. So
Is that
Yeah, yeah.
here's the thing: the
Brent?
maps were fun.
That's
the
Corin.
gameplay
It's
was
Corin.
really fun. I was enjoying myself.
but the main character doesn't wear shoes.
The main character, Corin, is terrible.
And she has like weird.
So-
She has like weird gaps in her armor.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
Thighs.
no. So
Camilla's-
like,
Camilla's actually like you have to use her. She's like the best unit you get for a good part of the game. But like in terms of like actual story, let me describe it in like under a minute. So you're kidnapped by Garen. He is bad guy. You learn he is bad guy. You're like, you know what? I'll go back, even though he kidnapped me and is not my real dad. I will help take over what is my actual home country. Goes into home country, invades it, tries to convince Big Brother that father is evil. He does not believe you. So you decide to make the father sit on a throne to reveal that he is evil. And then final boss is your brother, who is like not your brother anymore. He is like evil dark energy, and he goes like betrayal. And then by the end you're just kind of like, okay, this the gameplay was fun, but this plot is terrible.
hey, what? You don't like having to side with your genocidal dad and
No.
commit war crimes? Isn't it great?
No. So the best part is when they finally, conquer and he's about to sit in the chair. The whole reason that he conquered the entire country that is basically pseudo Japan is to make the father, King Garen, sit on the throne, which reveals him to be a giant slime monster.
Hot.
Yeah, that happens. It's not a
That's
good game.
cool.
People defend Fire Emblem. Just
Fire
as
Emblem-
a concept.
No,
No.
so there are
Listen, mate.
good Fire Emblems, like
Listen.
Shadows of Valentia and Awakening.
No,
they were
see,
bangers.
here's the thing. Shadows of Valencia, like, I don't think there'll be a good. This will be a little preview for the video game hot takes podcast, folks. There won't be another good Fire Emblem game until they ditch the main character avatar thing.
Listen,
Yeah.
I think that like I've been playing through I played through Path of Radiance, I've been playing through Tellius right now. Those are like legitimately really good games, even though Radiant Dawn has a rushed plot. I'll get
Makes
more
it
into that.
badass.
Yeah, it's still badass as fuck, but like I feel like actually a fun fact, the Avatar thing didn't start in Awakening. It actually started in the Japan only sequel to Marth's first game. I can't remember what it's called, but it is the 12th
Shadow Dragon.
game. Yeah, no, not the other, not Shadow Dragon. What the sequel is called? It's like Mystery of the New Emblem or something. That's where it started, but it wasn't really like a main role. It was just like, oh, it's another character. I feel like if it's like an O, it's just another character as opposed to like it's a main part of the story, then it's fine. But Awakening did it okay, but then it started getting kind of like out of control around Fates and Three Houses.
Yeah. No, see, this is why the best Fire Emblem game is Pokemon Conquest.
Yes, because Pikachu's taking over Japan. Everybody.
Yes.
Yes, correct. No, you can't have Eevee if you start as a girl.
Pikachu has already taken over Japan.
Rayquaza has sided with Oda Nobunaga.
No, it's
That's
Zekrom. It's
Zekrom has sided with Oda Nobunaga. It's over.
Yes, and you get Reshiram, I think, and beat him up.
Wow, sad.
Reshiram is the entire western planet.
If I remember correctly, Reshiram isn't even the best unit in the game, but it has also been literally years since I've played it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a banger.
I mean,
Not gonna
Mason,
lie.
if I'm being honest, if you were to ever play it, I do think you would actually like Path of Radiance because it's a legitimately.
I love Shadows of Valentia.
Listen,
Like
listen.
I hate New Fire Emblem.
Listen,
I hate Fire Emblem
no,
for
like-
boomers.
Path of Radiance is like 2005.
It's Ike. It's your boy Ike.
It's
No,
Ike.
that's what I'm
Ike
saying.
is the
That's
best
what I'm
Lord
saying.
Ike is the
No,
best.
but the thing is, I don't want to give money or like promote a series that exists exclusively as a gacha game now.
Oh
you know?
no! I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling
Yeah.
you to like play it on Dolphin. Because listen, I have a Path of Radiance copy. That shit is expensive. I could sell that for like $250. You're not buying Path of Radiance. You're emulating.
That's like 3 PS5 games.
No, yeah, no, it's like how Mother 3 carts are just absurdly expensive.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, Mason. If you were to play it, you're not. There aren't enough copies to actively like support them by buying it. I only have one because like that shit's expensive and I can eventually sell it for an absurd amount of money. But it's better to just play it on emulator. Just trust me, it's worth it even if you're not like a fan of the new age Fire Emblem Cougars. It's a classic, nice old game. I think
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
the
I
best.
bet I would like it. You know?
I'm telling you, Mason, do it. Play through. Like that's the one game I'm telling you. Please play Path of Radiance. It's a good game.
Regular shortcake game.
I'll consider it. I'll consider it.
I'll tell. Okay, Mason, if you play Path of Radiance, I will actually get my butt in gear and read One Piece slightly faster.
Be what?
Yeah.
Oh, did you
Yo,
not
just
hear
like
what I
play
said?
it, bro. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
listen.
reading it anyways, but like, I just want you to play Path of Radiance.
One Piece.
someday.
I mean, I might start it. I have the Dolphin emulator. I think.
Listen,
Wait, I
I'll-
definitely do. I played Melee before.
Have you guys ever played Gunstar Heroes for the Sega
But
Genesis?
No, I
will-
never had Sega stuff.
No,
So
but,
Gunstar Heroes is the top 5 video game for me. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em. Did someone just leave?
No, I actually hit
I guess this is
the voice.
no, yeah. I guess we can just like still talk. Because
I
why
can still
not?
chill.
Yeah,
I'll take one
yeah,
take the
yeah.
stream.
I
gotta
might.
further-
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta
getting
get something
tired.
done.
But yeah, so I'm gonna just
Yeah.
say, follow and subscribe to Dreadfighter FE and follow and subscribe to Young Mace God. Wow,
Yes.
look at that. Read One Piece, guys.
Yes.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Deal.
All right.